Maro Itoje there. The importance of tonight is massive, Ben, isn't it? Benkei and Andrew McKenna alongside myself, Hugh Withengruff, by the way. But throughout the tour, keeping your emotions in check is going to be a big thing. When you're not selected, and when you are selected, when you're out there in a hot-blooded test match, and every penalty, every decision could mean a result going your way or not. What is it like from the mental aspect, keeping your cool throughout this tour, on a night like tonight, for example?
Obviously, it affects everyone else differently, and depends a little bit where you end up in that pecking order and how you deal with it. But look, mentally it is fatiguing, but the players get such a shot from playing in this environment that you don't feel that until the end. Maybe the people that will suffer are the clubs when they go back at the beginning of next season. It's been a long rugby season, but playing for the Lions is all you've ever dreamed of doing, so there won't be any of that. And there are some players out, involved that haven't quite been hitting their straps or have had injuries. Ty Furlong's a key one for me. He was almost the first name on the team sheet for so long, and he's had injury problems this year. He's not quite the player he was, but this is almost like a metaphorical cortisone injection. All those injuries will disappear, and he can well get right back to his very best for this short period of the tour. So putting on that shirt is the biggest boost you can have in your rugby career.
The last time the Lions lost their opening tour match was back in 1971. How important is a win this evening, and what will Andy Farrell want to learn about his group?
Well, no one remembers if you lose a series whether you won your first one, and equally no one remembers if you lost one and you win the series. So it's not crucial. The big thing for the players is they won't feel like they're actually Lions tourists yet, and that's really difficult, playing with that in the subconscious. Until you're actually on the plane, you haven't toured with the Lions, so getting that mentality will be tough for them. But all they need today is a bit of fluidity. They need a spark of a couple of moments in the game where they go, wow, this is how special we could be as a team on this tour, and then it's a successful day. Obviously they want the win, but early on they want a little bit of a glimpse for this sea of red inside the Aviva Stadium to get behind them.
Well, here they are, the British and Irish Lions and Argentina. 7 weeks of making memories to last a lifetime. Blood, sweat and tears will be shed along the way as fireworks go high into the summer sky here in Dublin. There'll be fireworks throughout this tour, I'm sure. 11 matches in all, 3 huge test matches from glory. The road to rugby immortality starts here as Andy Farrell's British and Irish Lions take on the Pumas of Argentina, exclusively live on your home of the Lions, Talksport. Your commentary team, 2005 Lion Benkei, and Talksport's chief rugby commentator, Andrew McKenna.
We've not even kicked a ball yet. This is incredible. The fireworks are going, the smoke's all over the place, the players are out, and we will now get the anthem of Argentina, sung by Ana Carmen Balestra. The only anthem of this evening, because of course the British and Irish Lions don't have an anthem. So Anna Carmen Balestra leaves the field having delivered the Argentinian anthem, and the Aviva Stadium, so often green, is red. And I mean completely red. There was fireworks that went off. We were told actually yesterday in the broadcasters meeting that there'd be no smoke bombs going off. Well, there might not have been any smoke bombs, but there is a thick smoke from the fireworks away to our left-hand end. Fortunately, with the end that's nearest the city, away to our left here at the Aviva Stadium, is lower than everywhere else, so it gets a good breeze through, and it will clear the smoke before we kick off. Argentina, by the way, have won the toss, and they will kick off the game. Let's recap the teams for you, because there is just a moment before we get underway. Ellis Genge, Luke Cowan-Dickie and Finlay Beeler are up front for the Lions. Maro Itoje and Tyke Burning behind them. Tom Curry, Jack Morgan and Ben Earl make up the back row of the forwards. Alex Mitchell and Finn Smith, the halfbacks. Bundy Aki and Sione Tuapolotu, the centres. Duan van der Merwe on the left wing has only had 11 minutes of rugby since the Six Nations, and that was on the 28th of March against the Dragons. He's short of a run. Tommy Freeman's on the right wing. Marcus Smith is at full-back. Right. Just about everyone who's not meant to be on the field has now left. And James Dolman, our referee, is on the centre spot of the pitch. We will have a 10-second countdown. Argentina will play left to right in the first half. We've still got 3 cameramen actually on the field at the moment. So that is just a slight pause before we get going. Ben Kay.
Well, these are the moments, aren't they? Suddenly all that fear and anxiety about what might happen today when you can't affect your destiny. Suddenly that all goes out the window and the nerves will disappear for the players as finally they get the opportunity to run off some of that adrenaline and actually have an impact on their Lions tour. Argentina choosing to kick off, having won the toss, to put pressure on all those players that are feeling slightly nervous and try and pin the Lions down in their own half.
So James Dolman blows the whistle and the Lions tour of 2025 is underway. Thomas Albornoz kicks left-footed out to the left-hand side as far as Argentina are concerned. They go short and contestable, but the Lions have it. From 12 short of halfway, Alex Mitchell puts the box kick up down the right channel. Good chase by Tom Curry. Lions putting pressure on. Argentina back inside their own half, centre of the pitch, 12 short of halfway. Carry on this occasion by Joel Sclavi, the tight head prop. Doesn't really get anywhere. Argentina recycle. It's the second row, Franco Molina with another carry. Argentina go left-hand side there. 5 in from the touchliners. Albornoz, the outside half, has a little go himself. Again, they're going through some phases here, Argentina, but Lions from a defensive point of view will be pretty happy because they've really gone nowhere in about 4 or 5 phases. As a result, the box kick goes up. Argentina contest it, they've got it back. That is a great claim from the number 8, Joaquin Oviedo, to take it off of his bootstraps and not knock it on. But the Lions have turned it over. Ty Byrne gathers it in, passes it to the right-hand side to Freeman. Freeman puts boot to ball. It'll be gathered by Argentina in their own 22. Centre of the pitch, right foot drilled down the centre of the playing surface. Marcus Smith has his hands on it in the Lions 22. Brings it outside the 22. Right of centre. Right footed, it goes up into this clear Dublin sky. The first game of the British and Irish Lions tour, exclusively live here on Talksport, and it's Argentina coming down the left side. Nice little grubber kick through by Albornoz, not able to bring it in, and the Lions have the ball back. Both sides with plenty of possession already. We've played 1 minute and 45. No score as yet.
Last feet.
Lions are just going to slow it down ever so slightly. Mitchell will put the right-footed kick up once again. Freeman chasing after this. Won't get it because it's taken by Santi Carreras. Great tackle by Freeman. He pulls his man down one-handed. So Argentina again still 12 metres short of halfway, working it towards the midfield. Joaquin Oviedo, the number 8, with another carry. He's getting through some good early work. It's going to be Maro Itoje putting pressure on Albornoz this time. He gets the left-footed kick away. Out to Rodrigo Iskro. The Harlequins winger manages to keep it alive. And It is recycled by Argentina. They're on the halfway line, centre of the pitch, going right to left across it. There's a 4-on-1 for Argentina down the left-hand side, and it's through the hands of the centres out to Ignacio Mendy, tackled 7 metres short of the line. 4 in from the left-hand touch. Argentina threatening early doors. We played almost 3 minutes here in Dublin. Argentina looking for quick ball. They will get it through Vivas. Molina, the second row, takes it on. Tackle made by the British and Irish Lions captain Mauro Itoje. Now it's Julian Montoya. 14 in from the left touch. 6 metres out. Argentina going through the phases. Forwards carry again once. Jack Morgan tries to get in over the ball for the Lions. He can't. Juan Martin Gonzalez takes it in for the Pumas. They're getting very close to the line. Now it's the centre Picardo. He gets stopped short of the line. Now Montoya. Penalty advantage for Argentina. British and Irish Lions offside. And there won't be any advantage. It will be a penalty. 3.5 minutes of non-stop action. Ben Kay.
Yeah, the Lions will actually be quite happy that this is a penalty and potentially 3 points against them rather than anything more. Not only because of the break, but Ben Earl on his own line jumped out of the defensive line and left an opportunity. Fortunately, he was assisted with a great tackle from the man outside him. But the Argentinian players finding that first little chink in the defensive armour of the Lions. It's so difficult. We talked about the attacking flow that's needed, but the hard bit is defending, because players are used to a certain system, and putting them all together, you can sort of cope with your attacking system not working together, but any disparity in defensive systems is where Argentina will pick the Lions apart tonight. And the Lions have probably got away with that one. Lovely little break down the outside from them early on, and a little warning for the Lions that they're going to have to stay together. And you mentioned about the 3.5 minutes. That's where they'll have a problem. They'll all know the defensive strategy off by heart, but as soon as the fatigue comes into play, you tend to revert to type and what you're used to doing.
Thomas Albonos, 15 metres out, bang in front of the post, and slots it straight between the uprights. Was never missing that one. So the first points of the tour, if you like your pub quizzes, make a note. This is bound to come up at some point or other. The first points of the British and Irish Lions Tour 2025. Thomas Albonos with the penalty on 4 minutes.
Worth also saying that the Argentinians in all that targeted Finn Smith, who was standing at the back in a full-back role with Marcus Smith. They've let the wingers up and dropped those two guys back. He couldn't win the ball in the air the first 2 times the kicks went up. We just wonder whether the Lions will look at that strategy if Argentina keep on doing it.
Argentina have gathered in the restarts. Julian Montoya, 10 metres out from his own line. It's slow ball. Well, set up the elongated ruck, the caterpillar ruck, right-footed. The kick goes into the air. It's contestable for Argentina, and they've got up and got hands on it through Mendy, but he's batted it back. But because it's open play, Mauro Itoje is able to be in the Argentinian side of the line and get possession. Lions have worked it wide. Duan van der Merwe straight down the middle, in front of the left-hand upright, 20 metres out. Quick ball to the left-hand side. Jack Morgan, open side flanker for the Lions, tries to keep it alive. He gets it back inside. It's intercepted by Argentina, but the Lions tackle the ball carrier into touch. It will be a British and Irish Lions line out. 6 minutes played. Lions 0, Argentina 3 here on Talksport. Ben Kay.
First real attack from the Lions. The Smith. Both Smiths combine perfectly, and that's why they're both at the back together, to be able to counter-attack. Duan van der Merwe makes the break through the middle, but he's got a habit of not looking for his 9 in support. Mitchell was free. If he'd fed Mitchell back on his right shoulder, Mitchell would have strolled under, but he took the contact himself. The Lions ended up taking the ball to the touchline, but now they have another opportunity, 7 out.
Luke Cowan-Dickie, the birthday boy, throws, finds captain Mauro Itoje at the front of the line out. The cry of heave goes up from the crowd. It was in with the forwards. 6 in from the left touchline, 5 metres out. The Lions will get 2 bites at the cherry if the referee says it's stopped twice. Well, they won't, because Luke Cowan-Dickie's broken away, and he's got the ball down for the first try for the British and Irish Lions. He scored a try in the Test Series in South Africa. He's the first Lions point scorer of 2025. British and Irish Lions 5, Argentina 3, 7 minutes played.
Yeah, good forwards try from the Lions. They set up the drive nicely, and the Argentinians fold around and end up on the Lions side. That's why Cowan-Dickie has to break away on his own, because it was likely the Lions were going to get turned over. 3 Pumas shirts wrapped around him as he met the line, and he's wrestled the ball away. And does he lose it over the line? I think the TMO will check it in the background to ensure there's no separation between hand and ball. He had to wrestle and roll and twist, and on second viewing, on a second angle, it looks like he spilt it.
I'm waiting to hear Eric Gozan's French voice going check, check. And you might have just heard the little blow on the whistle from James Dolman. We are going to check this. I think he's lost it. I'll put that out there here and now.
The first angle looked better than the second. And you could see his hand on both angles, but it just looks like he loses control as he makes it to the line. The light blue and white shirts behind him lost. But just the momentum of him spinning and hitting the turf, I think, might have dislodged the ball.
Let's have a listen in. Okay, we're not hearing the TMO, we're only hearing James. Oh, no.
Goal line dropout, stay behind, guys.
So it is no try. It is a goal line dropout. And Luke Cowan-Dickey has just avoided scoring a try on his birthday. The fines committee is going to have some fun with that one. I'm absolutely sure of it.
Okay, let's go.
Okay,
Time back on.
7.5 played. It is still Argentina 3-0 in the lead with the dropout.
Goal line dropout. The Lions have left Ben Earl back with Mitchell and both Smiths. Earl will carry into contact.
He's the one who carries from his own side of halfway. He takes it to the 10-metre Argentina side of halfway, just left of centre. Great ball into midfield. Finn Smith gets it to his right-hand side to Marcus Smith. Now to Ipolotu. Lions go further to the right-hand side. They are stopped. 12 inside the Argentina half. Nice recycle. Bundyaki gets his hands on the ball. That's a brilliant offload from Will Stewart. Combination from the Lions. Out to left side. Dylan van der Merwe finds Freeman. Freeman is taken to ground. 5 in from the left touchline. 10 metres out from the try line. Great ball speed as Ellis Genge comes onto it. He's tackled. Quick ball available for the Lions. Kick pass out to the right-hand side from Finn Smith to Freeman, but it's taken by the Argentinian winger Ignacio Mendy, and here come Argentina. They fancy a bit of broken field. Juan Martin Gonzalez takes the ball into contact.
Turnover's good.
Tom Curry makes the turnover, though. Lions have stolen the ball back. There are going to be some very tired bodies at the end of this one, and I'm not just talking on the pitch. The commentators might be knackered as well at this rate. This is all systems go. 8 minutes 45 played. Lions win a penalty.
I think it's Molina. Clearly came in at the side there and then went off his feet. Lions with some brilliant attack down that touchline. As you said, that Cowan-Dickey offload into space. Left the ball on his shoulder for the looping player, and Finn Smith goes for the little bit of a Hail Mary across the field with a perfectly placed crossfield kick. Really, really well read from Mendy. And then Argentina immediately turning defence into attack and putting the Lions under pressure. Tom Curry coming up with a crucial turnover.
Well, you might have just heard a little murmur. That is because the British and Irish Lions have elected to kick at goal from this penalty, from the Argentinian 10-metre, just right of centre. It's worth reiterating, this isn't a festival game.
No bonus points for 4 tries. Also, had they just scored a 7-pointer, I think they would have kicked to the corner. But bank your chips. We've been down here. Every time the Lions come down here, they'll want to go away with points. They've just done that.
Finn Smith steps up and strikes it right-footed, and sweetly she goes between the uprights. And so the British and Irish Lions do have their first points of the 2025 tour. It is a Finn Smith penalty. 3 points apiece as we hit the 10-minute mark here on Talksport. Right, just get your breath back, everybody. There's a long way to go yet. God, how far away does Sydney feel at the moment? Goodness me. Argentina restart. Nice dropping restart, actually, down the left channel. They dropped it over the head of the pod of the Lions forwards, and it drops into the arms of the covering player who's there just in case. So the Lions gather it in. Alex Mitchell box kicks down the right-hand side. It's another contestable one. Lions have got hands on it, and they've gathered it in. Maro Itoje does a good job of being a sponge and just mopping that up. Lions are going to go from 5 outside their own 22, across the face of the post, down the left-hand side. Sione Tuipulotu tries a little grubber kick through for Duan van der Merwe. It's gathered in by Argentina, and they try and go back over the Lions' head from where it came. Alex Mitchell will back up. He's going to gather this ball 3 metres out from his own line, and straight away he's under pressure. But that's a brilliant back-of-the-hand offload, chicken wing offload to Tommy Freeman, who right-footed clears it to the safety of the touchline down beneath us. That looked all ends up trouble, and the Lions get themselves out of it.
Big exhale from Alex Mitchell. He knew he was caught, and his club teammate Tommy Freeman had raced back, and he just throws the ball out the back door into space, and Freeman clears their lines. But much better fluidity from the Lions in the last 5 minutes or so. They've really found some rhythm attacking-wise.
Good line out from Argentina, taking up the tail, works straight into midfield. Justo Picardo, the inside centre, combining with Cinti. Now they've got some space around the right-hand side. Carreras, he's going to put Mendy in down the left-hand side. He gets through the tackle, and Argentina score the try. We said they were coming here to play, and 12 minutes played, Argentina score the first try of the game. British and Irish Lions 3, Argentina 8, and Ignacio Mendy has his 4th try in 3 international games. This one, and not a full cap international for Argentina, but his 4th try no less, and it's a good finish. Lions will be disappointed with the tackling. Lions 3, Argentina 8.
Yeah, great finish from Argentina, and Mendy in particular had to take on Duan van der Merwe, who was racing across, and he wrong-footed him with a big left-footed step back on the inside. But the problem was a system error from the Lions. They didn't number up properly. They didn't get people to the right side of the breakdown. As a result, Tommy Freeman felt exposed. He hesitated, stepped in, turned his shoulders away from the touchline, and was taken out with a pass. He couldn't recover. And Mendy, in acres of space, had loads of time to pick his route against the flailing cover. Fortunately for the Lions, though, it's just 5 points. The conversion's missed.
Yeah, Albonos from way out on the left-hand side. Not an easy one for the left-footed kicker. It drifts across the face of the posts. So it is just 8-3. You may have just heard James Dolman, our referee, saying they can go when they want. That he's telling the Argentinian water carriers that you are in the way and they can kick off the Lions. The Lions do kick off, and Argentina will take. They get very close to the 22-metre line, and the fact that they're inside is significant because it means they can clear to the safety of touch without a problem, should they want to. And that is indeed what Gonzalo Garcia is going to do. Is his 4th appearance for Argentina, this one. But he's put the ball up. The Lions have won it back. Have Argentina stolen it on the floor? They have. When Martin Gonzalez comes away with the ball. This is 7 metres outside the Argentinian 22. Only a couple in from the left-hand touchline. Now big Joel Sclavi takes it into contact, but he's lost it in the process. And it's a turnover. It will be a scrum to the British and Irish Lions. It is the British and Irish Lions live on Talksport with coverage sponsored by Tenormen. Find out more at tenormen.co.uk.
Big tackle there coming in from Finley Bellingham, and there was another player that came in and helped dislodge the ball as well. But that's a coach killer for Felipe Contaponi, because they were just going through that one extra phase to set up a better kick position, and they've spilt the ball, gifted the Lions brilliant attacking opportunity with a scrum just outside the 22-metre line over on the far right-hand touchline. Plenty of space to play into for Finn Smith. Marcus Smith hovering in behind Sione Tuipulotu as well, and they're passing in the favoured direction from right to left.
Coach!
Scrums with Argentina. It's not a thing, it's a religion. This could be entertaining. First one of the game. And James Dolman, understandably, wants to make sure that we get this absolutely right. So he's told the front rows to stand up. He's talking to Ellis Genge, saying, I'm not liking how you are lining up, so please stand up and we will go again and we will get this one absolutely right.
Really couldn't be better attacking position for the Lions, this, because over on that touchline previously, because the ball's being put in from the side that Alex Mitchell's going to have to pass towards, used to be that the 9 would be able to put you under pressure at the base of the scrum. So you're passing your favoured way, but the 9 would be under pressure. The new laws take that opportunity away from the defensive 9. He has to stay back and give Alex Mitchell a free pass. The Lions have just won a penalty advantage.
Front rows go to ground. It's a penalty advantage from the scrum. They've worked it to Tommy Freeman, the right winger, coming to the centre of the pitch, 20 metres out. Number 8, Ben Earl, pick and go around the edge of the pile of bodies. He won't get anywhere for the time being. It'll go into the back line. Finn Smith gives it to Bundy Aki. Aki with a couple of metres, plays it back, makes it available. Sweeping around to the left-hand side is Ellis Genge. He stops in his tracks. Lions will recycle quickly. Curry, lovely little tip on to Ben Earl. Two of those, of course, know each other well with England. Now into the back line it goes. Well, it goes through Finn Smith to Maro Itoje, who tries to truck it up once again. Now Marcus Smith gets his hands on the ball. Lovely little offload by Marcus Smith. Gets it to Tommy Freeman. Freeman tackled 12 metres out. 10 in from the right touchline. Now it's Finlay Beelum taking it into contact. It's lost on the floor by the Lions, but that was all while they had penalty advantage. All of that phase of play. So we will go back for a penalty to the British and Irish Lions. 10 in from the right touchline, 24 metres out from the try line.
That was great attack from the Lions because the Argentinian defence was perfect, but they still managed to make metres because the timing of the passes and the little tip-ons meant they took the defenders out of the game, created the opportunity. Yes, Argentina dealt with it brilliantly and we had to come back for the penalty advantage, but that will have given the Lions players so much belief that under the biggest of pressure from a defensive effort, they can still look good and make yards.
Now this time, the Lions being a bit closer, have elected to put it into the right-hand corner. So it's the line out, 6 metres out from the corner flag. And now they can go to their box of tricks and see what they've got.
They've almost scored from this exact range, albeit on the other side of the pitch once. Can they be a little bit more controlled this time?
Tyburn in the middle wins the line out. It's down straight to Bundy Aki. Now to Alex Mitchell. There's a hand in there that's gone loose. It's the only Tuipulotu who's got the ball, and he's put it down over the try line under the crossbar. But James Dolman knows that something about that doesn't feel quite right, so we are going to go to Eric Gozan, our TMO.
Well, the ball went forward, but Dolman has been brilliant there by letting it play on, because I think it's knocked down by an Argentinian hand.
So James Dolman is saying he thinks it's gone backwards off of an Argentinian hand.
I was happy with it.
Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It comes off an Argentina hand. Does it then come off of Alex Mitchell's hand and goes forward?
First knock-on is blue, then second
Well, I actually think that's a deliberate knock-on.
going scrum.
Guys, yeah, no try. It was lost forward by Argentina and then by Lions.
I think Picardo there knows exactly what he's doing. He sticks his hand out and stops the pass. Yes, the call's right that it then comes off Mitchell and goes forward.
They're just going to show this one more time.
Is it a natural shape? His hand, he's leading with his outside right hand. He's pointing it forward. So is that a natural tackling position? I know exactly that he knows what he's doing. It's whether it looks enough of a natural position for the officials. They say it does. Again, another Lions try struck off.
Giusto Picardo, 23 years of age. Only one Argentinian appearance before today, and that was in this stadium against Ireland in the Autumn Nations Series last year when he came on for 23 minutes as a replacement. Plays his rugby in the Super Rugby Americas competitions for Pampas.
Just interesting setup from the Lions here. They've got Marcus Smith directly behind the scrum. Finn Smith out to the right in a normal 10 position. Two playmakers. They can go either side. Scrum right under the posts.
Ball goes into the scrum. This one's solid. Lions have actually got a little nudge on. They've got penalty advantage and they're going forward. Mitchell's picking in and going. Goes to the left-hand side. Tuipulotu has the hands on the ball. Thinks about the pass to Duhan van der Merwe. Doesn't. Takes the contact. Mitchell will recycle quickly. Genge on the crash ball. There's an Argentinian player who is taking an age to get out of there. It's Julian Montoya. He's saying, I'm doing it as quick as I can, ref. Ball recycled by the Lions. Lovely hands from Marcus Smith. And it goes to Bundy Aki on the right-hand side. Thought about passing. Goes himself. Barrels over now. Has he got it down? Referee says yes. Bundy Aki, the 35-year-old, a British and Irish Lion in South Africa, played in the first Test match and played in the opening game of the 21 Tour in Edinburgh against Japan. Well, here he is in another opening Tour game, and he gets his name on the score sheet. British and Irish Lions 8, Argentina 8 after 19 minutes.
Well, the decision-making from Aki is superb. The Lions' handling was fantastic. Under huge pressure, they got it out to him, but as he looked to his right to throw a long pass to Freeman, he realised Freeman had just ever so slightly overrun him. The pass he couldn't guarantee would get there perfectly, so he decided to tuck himself, use his power and slide in when people were thinking, why haven't you passed it? He did exactly the right thing not passing it, and he backed it up with a great finish. The Lions have really found their rhythm in the last 10.
And Finn Smith adds the conversion as well, so it's the full 7 points, 10-8. Lions are in front. Bundy Aki's gone through 3 there. I mean, that's not going to be a terribly pleasant defensive review from an Argentina point of view, because he just bounces Cinti. The scrum half Garcia hasn't got a prayer, and Picardo can't get back round. I don't know if you saw when the team was announced, there was someone on social media, and I'd love to name check you, but I've forgotten who it was. When we saw Aki and Tui Piloto as the centre pairing, someone put on social media, geez, Andy Farrell, do you not know some of these Argentinian lads have families? And I think a few of those fears may have come home to roost with that particular ball carry. Argentina back underway. Again down the left-hand side as far as they're concerned. The Lions have gathered it in, and Alex Mitchell puts up a beauty, and Tommy Freeman gets there bang on time. Santiago Carreras catches the ball, and Freeman tackles him almost immediately. Argentina have the ball, but they're back up now to just inside the Lions half. 10 in from the left touchline. Sclavi, the monster tight end prop, with the latest carry.
What a chase from Freeman that was, because the kick from Mitchell was far too long. But his pace and acceleration meant he caught Carreras just as the ball landed.
Finn Smith will gather the ball in as Argentina have kicked through, and it's a return kick from Finn Smith down the right-hand side, and he will just find the safety of touch. What's that? Halfway inside of the Lions' own half, right-hand side.
We're halfway through the half as well, 21-30 in, and a lot of players with their hands on their head. It's taken a while for Montoya to throw this ball in. Everyone needs a breather.
Line-out is completed by Argentina.
Yeah, the ball's out to the side. 2 wins it.
And the Lions have stolen it. Luke Cowan-Dickey with the turnover. So the Lions have got it just inside and now just outside. Let me tell you, they're going to go across the left-hand side. Bundy Aki with a little show and go himself, actually. Now the offload to Finn Smith. And I think pragmatism's going to take over for the moment here.
Yeah, but they explored. They had a look. It hasn't worked out. They kept hold of the ball, but that's what we want to see. The Lions looking to play certainly the Northampton way with those 2 Northampton Saints halfbacks working in unison, but have a little explore, have a look. If it's not on, we'll reset, and then they'll go to the boot.
They kick down the left-hand side as far as the line's concerned. Carreras takes it. He's almost on his knees and gets clobbered by Duan van der Merwe in the process. I'm surprised Santi Carreras is up that quickly. Lions work it to the right, and they knock it on, but there's already been the initial knock-on by Carreras. So we will go back for that scrum. But that looked like it was going to be a world of trouble, didn't it?
Duan van der Merwe running at full tilt. As Carreras takes the ball, they are going to check it. Carreras drops to his knee. So I can't believe, if that's what they're checking, that van der Merwe could have done anything. He drops to his knee.
I've just heard Eric Gozan say potential head contact.
But I think he could have done. I think it could be Duan van der Merwe's knee on Carreras' head then, because he dropped that quickly. But the onus is on the chasing player to control your speed. Oh, well, actually, they're looking at another head contact. It's by Argentina.
Oh, yes. It's Joaquin Oviedo. Upright tackle on Finn Smith.
There's no real force bit through it. I think it's just a penalty only. They can't do a yellow card for that. He doesn't go through Finn Smith. Also, he goes off one tackle into another one. For me, that's just a penalty.
And he's...
Or is it? So then does it reach a yellow card and then there's clear mitigation? So I'm going to go penalty only here. Yeah, so it reaches our yellow card, but then we have clear mitigation because there's lack of time for him to adjust there. So I'm going to penalty only here. Okay.
So Nico Ramashikeli and Andrea Piardi, the two assistants, have got together with James Dolman, and you've just heard him say there, we're starting at yellow card, but there's enough mitigation that we will take it down to just a penalty for that head contact.
They're absolutely right. He gets caught almost because Finn Smith comes late into his channel. He's got no time to put his head on one side.
Just back, guys.
He goes slightly more upright, but you tend to do that to try and make space. You stand up and almost lean backwards. There was no power through it at all. No real danger in the instant, so they've got that spot on, the officials.
So we will go back for the penalty, and it's going to be just about outside the Lions 22 from where that happened. And Finn Smith, ball in hand, and puts it down the left touch and doesn't try and bite off a huge amount of real estate. It will be a line out to the Lions 3 metres inside of the Argentina half. Possession and territory, no, remarkably even. 53-47 in favour of the Lions for possession, 60-40 in terms of territory. They've just got the ball back after Argentina stole it from the Lions line-out, kicked it through. Duan van der Merwe's gathered it centre of the pitch, 10 short of halfway. Ball into the back line. Finn Smith hands on it once again. Lions get over the ball to ensure that it safely comes back. Tom Curry, he gives it to the left-hand side to Jack Morgan, but Jack Morgan is basically standing on the whitewash as the ball goes into touch, and it's a line-up which Argentina again have taken really quickly. Along the back line it goes. It's kicked through to the right-hand corner as far as the Lions are concerned. Marcus Smith will gather that in, whacks it 60 metres down the right-hand touchline. Gathered in, Argentina will put the ball up into the air. Underneath it is Finn Smith. There's two blue and white shirts, and Rodrigo Isgro introduces his right shoulder to Finn Smith's midriff, puts him onto the ground. Lions still have the ball. Luke Cowan-Dickey with the carry. This is 15 in from the right touchline, 10 outside the 22, but Lions are penalised. Holding on at the breakdown. It's going to be a penalty to Argentina, and I'm just waiting because we need to tell you about a couple of goals in the World Club Championship, and I'm just waiting to see whether Argentina are going to kick a goal or not. Right, they're going to have a conflab, which gives us time to get over to Ian Abrahams for the details.
Chelsea 1, Flamengo 2. The equaliser came on 62 minutes. Vlata nodding the ball across for sub Bruno Enrique at the far post, touch in, and then 3 minutes later a corner, and Danilo stretched 4 yards out to put the ball in the back of the net. The game is on live on Talksport 2. Chelsea from in front and behind. Flamengo 2, Chelsea 1.
Cheers, Ian. And Argentina are indeed, after that conflab, going to take the shot at goal. 25 minutes played, so we've completed the first quarter of the tour, and this will put Argentina back in the lead. They scored the opening points from Thomas Albornoz with a penalty on 4 minutes. The Lions thought they scored a try through Luke Cowan-Dickey, but he lost it going over the line. Ignacio Mendy did score the first try of the game for Argentina on 12, and now here we are on 25 and a half minutes, with Albornoz having the opportunity, left-footed, to shoot at goal from 12 in from the left touchline, halfway inside of the Lions half. The Benetton number 10 steps up, strikes it left-footed straight between the uprights, and it is 3 more points for Argentina. They lead 11 points to 10 here on Talksport 2. No, Talksport, in fact. Sorry, there's Pavlov's dog for you. Completely used to saying Talksport 2. We're on Talksport tonight, of course. Talksport or Talksport 2 for the entire tour. Just get the app downloaded. You can simply swipe between Talksport and Talksport 2, whichever station the games are on.
Yes.
And don't forget the YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. You'll get all the interviews, all of the bits and pieces from Australia, all the news that you need. Right, well, Lions made a couple of mistakes there. The restart wasn't claimed. Argentina had that. Then they put the box kick up, and Marcus Smith isn't able to gather it in. So it will be a scrum to Argentina, 12 short of halfway And 10 in from the left touchline.
Had to come a long way there, Marcus Smith. He's not the tallest, obviously, for a fullback under that high ball. And the Argentinian kick chase has been really, really good this evening. We've seen Finn Smith spill a couple, just under pressure there. Marcus Smith can't hold it. Exactly what Argentina wanted. Nothing on for them from their own 22, so they kick to compete, force the error, and get the scrum that they can now attack off, going from left to right as they look at it.
Red ball.
We're going to have a scrum, but we've got a delay. There's more drama in Philadelphia for Ian Abrahams.
Flamengo 2, Chelsea 1, a bad 5 minutes, conceded 2 goals, and Nicholas Jackson, just on a sub for Liam Delap, has just been sent off, straight red card. Chelsea down to 10, live on Talksport 2, Flamengo 2, Chelsea 1.
Blimey, all go in Philadelphia.
Hang on. It's their ball, so you set. Guys, you set. Brilliant. Thanks.
Scrum time has not gone particularly cleanly so far, both for the players and James Dolman, our New Zealand referee.
Step off.
He's having problems getting the alignment and the spacing.
He's also said to Luke Cowan-Dickie that it's Argentina's ball, but Mitchell is holding the ball thinking that he's putting it in for his team.
I mean, Marcus Smith knocked it on, so it's clearly an Argentina put-in, isn't it?
There were two hands up there, but definitely I think that's the way he's given it. And let's see what happens as Alex Mitchell appears in front of him with the ball. I think he's going to play on. Maybe they decided it was an Argentina hand first.
Mitchell's just looked around to Finn Smith and said, well, I've still got the ball. And Lions have got better than that. They've won a penalty. The Mako Vivas side of the scrum. The Argentinian loosehead is adjudged to have basically hinged and pulled the Lions' tight head, Finley Beelum, straight to ground, and so the Lions win a penalty, and they're going to kick it down the right touchline. Ben Kay.
Yeah, big kick into the corner this from Finn Smith. He hasn't got all the way, so it's too far, you would think, for a Lions drive. And they'll probably have to look at either playing a peel play off the back of the line-out, maybe a mini drive just to hold those blue and white shirted forwards in before they play out of the back. But expect something here from that centre pairing of Bundy Aki and Tui Pelotto, who are just having a little conflab as to what they might do together. Freeman hovering off the back of the line out.
The peel comes from the line out. It's going to go straight to Freeman from Luke Cowan-Dickie, but it's been knocked on. And that will be a scrum to Argentina. The Lions trail by a single point. Lions 10, Argentina 11 as we approach the half an hour mark.
The move was a really, really good one. Didn't quite come off, but little mini drive to hold those players in. Luke Cowan-Dickie rolls round the corner. Bundy Aki runs a hard line to look like he's going to take the ball off the back of the line out from Cowan-Dickie, but he's a decoy runner. Freeman on his shoulder, bursts through, feeds Tui Pelotto, but he can't quite hold the ball. If that had gone to hand, I think Tui Pelotto was going over the line for a try.
Well, there was a lot of talk about that centre partnership. Sione Tui Pelotto, of course, missed the Six Nations with that injury. There were lots of concerns about him, but he managed to get 3 games in since getting injured in January, scoring 1 try for Glasgow. I'm not saying he's at his sharpest yet, but there are most definitely significant signs of life as far as he's concerned. Now the ball has come squirting out of the scrum, and Joaquin Oviedo, the Argentinian number 8, is going to have to gather that in under all sorts of problems and pressure. 5 metres out from their own line, just to the left of the post. Argentina go to the left-hand side towards the touchline side.
No, step 4, step.
Gonzalo Garcia, the scrum half, will box kick away. He's 26 years of age, and as I mentioned, still pretty inexperienced. Only 11 Argentina appearances before, and he's the more experienced of the 2 Argentinian scrum halves. Tonight, under pressure, he finds the safety of the touchline. Left-hand side, the Lions right, and the Lions can try and run another launch play.
Yeah, just a little bit dominant in terms of field position in the last few minutes, the Lions, and another good attacking opportunity, 8 metres out from the Argentinian 22 on the right-hand side. Lions stacked with Ben Earl in behind Tui Pelotto.
Mauro Itoje gets hands to it, but Argentina got a hand in that dislodged it. It comes loose. Lions have it back. Alex Mitchell will give to Curry. 15 in from the right touchline. 12 inside the British and Irish Lions half. Alex Mitchell is going to box kick. Who's chasing after this one? It's going to be Finn Smith who's going to go, but it's just fractionally too long for Finn Smith. He can put pressure on. Albornoz pulls the ball in and calls the fair catch, the mark, and he will clear down the left touchline. The first of 10 games exclusively live. The British and Irish Lions are exclusively live to the Talksport network, and we're going to be bringing you, well, it's already started, but over the course of the next month or so, 6 weeks, 200 hours of broadcasting. 200 hours. See, God, that sounds. I mean, Hughes just sitting there thinking, I'm glad I'm not doing all of that. I'm going to end up with a sore throat. He's right. You would. Line out on halfway for the Lions.
Slightly poor kick from Mitchell. They've got the ball back now on the halfway, but that kick into the 22 that Argentina marked easily. Don't want a high ball to go into the 22, and the Lions have lost another line-out throw into Itoje over the top.
Yeah, fractionally too high from Luke Cowan-Dickey. Just grazed the fingertips of Itoje. So Argentina have it on halfway. Finn Smith comes charging up. The Argentinian player Albornoz has got his knee to floor, so the tackle is completed. So they play on. Pablo Matra, lovely inside ball to Oviedo, the number 8, and he's crashing up 3 or 4 hard-won metres. And now Garcia, the scrum half, picks and goes around the edge. This is all breaking down and getting very loose. It is Rodrigo Istro, the right winger, who's found himself in the centre of the pitch. Now Oviedo, the number 8, once again. 12 outside the Lions, 22, but they're going to win the turnover penalty as Argentina hold on the floor.
Well, that triple back row jackling threat of the Lions really coming to the fore. Great break initially from Argentina with that bust through the middle from Oviedo. Brilliant cover tackle from Finn Smith, and then as Argentina got in behind the Lions again, that double threat, the chop tackle from Curry, and Jack Morgan over the ball to steal it back. Argentina will now start to worry about that back row threat of the Lions because they're starting to make some turnovers, and Argentina want to play loose. They want to run the lines to be there for an offload, but if you do that, you're not there to clear out the threat.
Right, well, we're going to have a line out, but not yet, because again, we are going to Eric Gozan, our TMO, to check something. Let's have a listen in.
Already gone, but I want to show you the clean out from the number 3.
I think it's the clear out on Morgan, who had won the race, the battle of the shoulders.
So this is Joel Sclavi, the Argentinian number 3, the La Rochelle prop.
He sort of flies in on a lost cause. Morgan gets into a good position, and he does catch Morgan with his forearm on top of the head. Now, theoretically, if you're always illegal, and the problem is the arm's by his side, so
just happy with the penalty we have already. Yeah. Penalty only.
They are just going to give a penalty for the lack of danger. But you have to be careful. You almost have to have your arm up and out, almost in a tackle position.
Yes.
I don't think there was any malice in there. I think he was just trying to hook the player and drive him off it.
It's so hard when you're arriving in and you've got players on the ground, you're trying to clear them out. It's not easy.
I think he's done well, Dolman, so far. All his decisions have been good. He's been very assured. He's let the game flow.
That was good.
Joel Sclavi, by the way, if you've never seen him, imagine a wardrobe with a head. He's basically got no neck and his shoulders are just enormous. Lions from the penalty worked it into midfield. Both centres getting hands on the ball as Fields of Athen Rye come ringing around this stadium as they so often do. But Argentina have got the ball. They've kicked it down the right touchline through Santi Carreras. It will bounce out of play in the Lions 22.
Behind the mark.
Was it a 50-22? It was. Okay. So they can take the line out quickly, but they have to do it from behind the mark. Lions have got back around, so Carreras will hang on to the ball. Santi Carreras, such a quality player for Gloucester in the Premiership this year. He's, of course, going to Bath. Well, that'll make him weaker, won't it?
Come in.
That's a decent kick as well. Put a little bit of swerve on it to make sure that it got the distance, but then curved towards the touchline, so they get this throw in. The Lions have to be brave. They have to play a little bit, but at the moment, Argentina are almost being kept in it by some of the errors.
Argentina off the top of the line out. They worked it into midfield. Albornoz threads it through left-footed. It's Isco running after it. Marcus Smith picks up the loose ball and he's walloped by his Harlequins teammate Rodrigo Isgro. He's tackled, having taken the ball over his own try line. It's one of the few things left in world rugby that produces an attacking scrum 5 metres out, carrying it over your own try line and putting the ball down. Argentina, this is going to be like raw red meat for those forwards. They've got a scrum 5 metres out, 15 in from the left touch line. Decision making good from Marcus Smith, was racing back towards his own try line when he picked up the ball. And he showed a little dummy as though he might throw the ball to Duhan van der Merwe to try and throw the scent off him from the chasing Argentinian players. They didn't fall for it. They read it well. They tackled him over the line, but he didn't need to risk there, popping the ball up to Duhan van der Merwe and risking Van der Merwe spilling it and Argentina scoring. So he just needs his forward pack to get him out of trouble with another big scrum here as the Argentinians put the ball in. Might be a little Harlequins moment brewing. Rodrigo Isgro is way out on the right-hand side, and Marcus Smith would be the man defending him. If they went for the kick pass, Rodrigo with his sevens background, Rodrigo Isgro, you would bet he would get up higher than Marcus Smith. But do they want to actually take the risk of taking it away from the scrum and the power of the forwards? Yes, they will, but I think they'll have a little bust closer to the scrum as they can through the midfield. They've certainly stacked 12, 13, 15 in a line behind each other, very, very close to the scrum, and then Isgro's all the way out on the right-hand touchline on his own. They're trying to spread the Lions' defence, trying to get some gaps that they can run into down the middle. But if they stay tight, the second phase, you'd imagine that crossfield kick might be an option for Isgro, who is one of the very, very best in the air. Scrum goes together. Argentina put the ball in. There's a bit of a wheel. It's going to be Oviedo, the number 8, who picks and goes. He gets round the first tackler. Lions have got back in, but Argentina have got it away from the point of contact. They're almost in front of the left-hand upright, 5 metres out. Maro Itoje is doing a great job of slowing it down legally, so Argentina are going to have to pick and go from close range once again. Jack Morgan in with the tackle, drives the man back on this occasion. Sclavi clears out, so here comes Argentina. Rubiolo and Molina, the 2 second rows getting involved here.
Advantage, offside.
Lions are offside, so it's a free play for Argentina. Now Isgro's got his hand in the air down beneath us. It's not going to come out though. Picardo, the centre, takes it into contact. Garcia, hands on the ball, gives to Sclavi. The Argentinians have come across the face of the post. They're 5 metres out. They're getting really close. Pablo Matera tries to reach out and place it, can't get there. Knows he's not going to get there. Recycle, Vivas, the prop, loses it in contact. It's a knock-on. We're going to come back for the penalty advantage though.
What a tackle on the line from Ellis Genge and Sione Tuipulotu working in tandem. It's so difficult when you both hit together to stay low, but both took one leg each and absolutely smashed the ball carrier, forcing him to dislodge the ball. Certain try-saving tackle.
And they've just walked back to the mark for the penalty, which is, well, it's under the crossbar. And Julian Montoya says, with 90 seconds to go in the first half, we'd really quite like to be in front when you blow the whistle for half-time, James Dolman, so we are going to take the shot at goal, please.
It's a big win. It's a soft penalty for the Lions to give away. The offside, just creeping in front of the back foot, the hand going down. Matera almost gets there. Luke Cowan-Dickey shuffling his body into position. And then unbelievable shot from Tuipulotu on Mako Vivas as he comes in, looking like he's going to go over the line, takes his legs away, dislodges the ball.
So Albornoz will take the kick at goal. There is a minute left on the first half. And in international rugby terms, they always say no kick is a gimme. This one is a gimme. All he's got to do is make half-decent contact, and this has to go between the uprights and over the crossbar. He waits, and now left-footed, just a couple of small steps, steps up and strikes it, and it does go between the uprights. Albornoz has 3 more points. He's 3 from 4 from the kicking tee, and it's Argentina with a 4-point lead. British and Irish Lions 10, Argentina 14. I found out something new about Mako Vivas this week, actually. All the time he'd been with Gloucester, and I didn't know this. His middle name is Geronimo, which is just marvellous. During the World Cup...
You have some interesting nights.
Oh, God, yes. Do you know, during the World Cup 2015, Do you remember Argentina had a centre called Geronimo de la Fuente, which I thought was the best name I'd ever heard in rugby? And I put that on social media, and an Argentinian person spotted it and tagged him in on it, and he was like, oh, thank you very much. Well, I'm afraid you may have now been usurped. Mako Geronimo Vivas. Lions have got the ball, middle of the pitch, and it's Tui Piloto coming to the left-hand side. Finn Smith over the 22, gives to Duan van der Merwe. Goes inside, goes back outside. He's lost the ball in contact, though. Argentina turn it over. Juan Martin Gonzalez, and it's now Eastgrove. Over the 10-metre line is Carreras, over halfway. Gives it back to Albonos, down the right-hand side. He's got to run in from the edge of the 22. Argentina are going to score another try. Not only are they going into half-time in the lead, they're going into half-time with more than a converted try difference, because with the conversion to come, it's British and Irish Lions 10, Argentina 19. Thomas Albonos, the try scorer.
Well, we may just have seen one big selection decision advanced in Andy Farrell's mind, because Duan van der Merwe spills the ball when there wasn't really anything happening around him, and it just left his team completely exposed. At the end of the half, a lot of tired bodies, and Argentina just picked off Marcus Smith at the back. But at no point should they have lost that ball. They looked comfortable, they were right to give it an attack, they were in good attacking position, and that one mistake by a single player has really hurt the Lions just before the half-time whistle.
And Thomas Albonos adds the conversion to his own try from bang in front of the sticks. Argentina lead by 11 points at the break. Well, who had that on their bingo card? They scored the first points of the half, they scored the last points of the half. Ignacio Mendy, Thomas Albonos with tries. For the British and Irish Lions, Bundy Aki went over. Luke Cowan-Dickey also went over, but lost the ball in the act of scoring. Half-time of the first game of the 2025 British and Irish Lions Tour. British and Irish Lions 10, Argentina 21 here.
Well, they're putting a little bit of a downer on the party, aren't they, Argentina? They haven't read the script here. This was meant to be the big farewell, the big send-off to the Lions, leave them off to the plane to Australia with a skip in their step. And at the moment, there are a lot of question marks for Andy Farrell and his coaching staff to try and solve. Don't worry, it's just a warm-up game, but this is it. This is the fine margins, Ben K. All of these players wanted to come out tonight and impress on Andy Farrell why they should get a test start. How will they be feeling after that first half, the Lions players?
I think the majority of them will have felt that half's gone quite well, bar those moments where Argentina have been able to get over the line now. Yes, there were a couple of clunky bits. There was the error for the first try in terms of them not numbering up on the right side, but their actual attacking shape's been good. They've played well. They've been put under pressure by a decent defensive effort. The big worry is that last one. If that try's not scored, and it was such a gift of a try, they're probably thinking that's a pretty perfect half for them. Now they're under massive pressure, but the worry going into this game would be, well, what happens if we don't get any fluidity to our attack? And I think they have done that.
They had a nice period in the middle of that half, the Lions. It felt the first 10, 15 or so minutes, there was no real rhythm, and that's to be expected. A group of players playing together for the first time. It felt like they found a rhythm. They went over the try. Luke Cowan-Dickey disallowed. Sione Tui Piloto disallowed. Bundy Aki's try, fantastic, cancelling out the opener for Ignacio Mendy. And you felt like they were going to be in the ascendancy. But the last 10 or so minutes, there really hasn't been too much in the game. But that trajectory, that upward trajectory that they were on has seemed to dissipate.
Yeah, and both teams will get purple patches in the game. The key in all rugby, but international rugby, more than anything, is when you get an opportunity, you take them. And you just said it, those two Lions tries that we thought might have been, that weren't quite given. When Argentina have been down there, they've taken their opportunities, and that's been the difference between the two sides. So I think Andy Farrell will be quite calm in his address in the changing room. He'll say, a decent level of performance, but they will want to go out and win this game in the second half. They just need to stop some of those silly errors, both in attack and defence, and I think they'll be quite confident that they can pull this game back despite an 11-point difference.
How confident will Argentina be feeling?
They'll feel good. I don't think they will feel that they've quite hit their straps, but there's no pressure on them really. Everyone's expecting it's a home game for the Lions, that they're going to be able to deliver. as I said, when they've had that opportunity to run into open space, they've taken it. They've made 287 metres compared to the Lions' 144. For all the Lions' play that's been good, the Lions have been running into traffic. The Argentinians have been capitalising on turnover ball or loose kicks and making a lot of metres in front of them.
All set up for a special 40 minutes ahead of us. And, the result doesn't matter, but it does matter. Do you know what I mean? We want the Lions to leave the home nations with a spring in their step, with a victory under their belt, off to face what's waiting for them down under, and they will want to turn this around in the second half, so expect plenty of action, plenty of quality off the bench as well from the Lions in the second 40 minutes, but they trail at the break. Argentina by 11 points. Let's check in on the Club World Cup. Live action going on Talksport 2. Wasn't going well for Chelsea tonight. What's the latest from Talksport, Ian Abrahams?
It's got even worse. A minute of normal time to go. Thringo 3, Chelsea 1. Off the bench, Wallace Yan with a really scrappy goal. He actually missed his kick 6 yards out, but still had time to readjust himself and put it past Robert Sanchez. Felipe Luis, the former Chelsea defender, is going to get one over his former side here. Chelsea down to 10 after Nicholas Jackson sending off. We've got added time to come on Talksport 2. It's Flamengo 3, Chelsea 1.
A little bit of football news for you this evening as well. It's finally over the line. Liverpool have confirmed the signing of German international Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen for a reported £116 million. And in cricket, India ended the first day of the opening test against England on 359 for 3, having been put into bat. Shubman Gill and Yashasvi Jaiswal both scoring centuries today. You're listening to the British and Irish Lions live on TalkSport with coverage sponsored by Tenor-Men. Find out more at tenormen.co.uk. And at the break, 2 disallowed tries for the Lions. They know full well they're in a test match. They trail at the break. It's the British and Irish Lions 10, Argentina 21.
The Qatar Airways British and Irish Lions Tour of Australia, live on TalkSport, with coverage sponsored by Tenor-Men. With Tenor-Men's unbeatable product lineup, you get the protection you need for the lifestyle you lead.
Have you ever wondered what becoming a lotto millionaire sounds like?
You want to sit down? I can confirm that you have won £1 million indeed.
That's Terry, finding out he'd won £1 million.
Oh my God.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Will you be the next millionaire? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Tradespeople, fixers, makers and doers of the undone. Anyone who knows their way around a toolbox. With Seeker on your side, there's no detail too small and tricky, no design too grand and no mission too impossible. With a range of products for every job and quality you can count on, nothing can stand in your way. Not even the length of this ad break. So can someone stick the tunes back on? Seeker, bring it on.
At Halfords, we want you to say yes to packing more into summer days with a great value roof box or bike rack. Say yes to freewheeling fun with bikes and gear for all the family. Say yes to a perfectly polished car with our range of car cleaning products. And say yes to easy breezy trips with a free aircon check. Our experts are on hand with checks, advice and fitting. So pop into your local store or shop online and say yes to summer at Halfords. Subject to availability, see halfords.com for full T's and C's.
Subway knows you love a good deal. So say hello to Sub Yay. Deals that will make you go, yay. Like 10% off your whole order, getting a meal deal upgrade, or buy one, get one free on a 6-inch. That's Sub Yay. Get a fresh deal every week exclusively on the Subway app. Subway, 60 years fresher than ever. See the Subway app for specific offer availability and T's and C's. Freshly prepared per order.
Este es un anuncio de radio de Hiscox Business Insurance, que pretende mostrarle ciertos riesgos y peligros de los que Hiscox Business Insurance puede ayudarle a protegerse. If your business gets blamed by a client for a mistake, like accidentally recording the radio ad in the wrong language, Hiscox could help protect you. The story of your business, underwritten by Hiscox Business Insurance. Subject to already holding a relevant Hiscox policy and subject to policy eligibility terms and conditions.
The British and Irish Lions. The Wallabies. 2 giants of rugby. But when the match is over, the question is, Who recovers best? ResMed is the official sleep partner of the Qatar Airways Lions Men's Tour to Australia 2025, helping players and fans tackle sleep like champions. Find out how your sleep stacks up with their free online sleep assessment. Go to resmed.co.uk/tackle-your-sleep and wait ready for game day.
Talksport Breakfast in partnership with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK. Move up through the gears every morning with top of the range sports edition, ABS, story breaking news, and more gold talk to the gallon. Plus a stellar lineup of super celebrity sports guests as standard. Talksport Breakfast every weekday morning from 6 on Talksport with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK.
Live Super League, Sunday afternoon from 3 on Talksport 2.
And they will not stop the big fella.
Hear hard-tackling, full-match commentary of Salford Red Devils versus Hull FC.
Flick on the back door. Rapana was sensational.
Live Super League, Salford Red Devils versus Hull FC, Sunday afternoon from 3, over on Talksport 2.
We're about to be entertained by some incredible rugby.
James Dolman blows the whistle and the Lions Tour of 2025 is underway. The first points of the British and Irish Lions Tour 2025, Thomas Albornoz. Now they've got some space around the right-hand side. Carreras is going to put Mendy in down the left-hand side. He gets through the tackle and Argentina score the try. Lovely hands from Marcus Smith, and it goes to Bundyaki on the right-hand side. Thought about passing, goes himself, barrels over. Now has he got it down? Referee says yes. Number 10 steps up, strikes it left-footed straight between the uprights, and it is 3 more points for Argentina. Gives it back to Albornoz down the right-hand side. He's got to run in from the edge of the 22. Argentina are going to score another try. Not only are they going into half-time in the lead, they're going into half-time with more than a converted try difference, because with the conversion to come, it's British and Irish Lions 10, Argentina 19.
Well, there are always going to be teething problems, weren't there? I mean, it's the opening 40 minutes of a 7-week tour. The players have, many of them, not played for a few weeks, and there are plenty of positives to talk about in that opening period. But as I mentioned, a few little tweaks need to be made from Andy Farrell and his coaching team, and those players, of course, if they're to turn things around. The crowd here in the Aviva were hoping for a huge win. They were praying for it to send the Lions off down under with some real confidence. But ultimately, they will still get that if they have a really battling fight-back win in the second 40 minutes. It's coming live and exclusive to you here on TalkSport very, very shortly. And by the way, the latest podcast from TalkSport, After the Lights Go Out series, is available to download from all of the usual podcast providers from tomorrow morning, and it features someone who's been on a Lions tour previously, England Rugby Union great James Haskell. He discussed many topics with Steve Harmison and Liam McKenzie, including living with ADHD, becoming a father, his post-retirement marriage breakup, and now his work as an international DJ. He's had an amazing life, but you need to listen to this because he's so open about everything that he's been through. Another issue that's affected James during his life is a lack of self-belief. It's something that he goes into at length during the interview. And the podcast will be available to download tomorrow or wherever you get your podcast from. That's After the Lights Go Out with James Haskell. Remember, TalkSport, your home of the British and Irish Lions for the past 12 years. This year is no different. We'll have commentary from all 3 test matches, plus the warm-up games, and loads of exclusive content from Australia as the Lions take on the Wallabies. TalkSport, the only place on national radio where you can follow all of the Lions action. And let's head over to London now. TalkSport reporter Harry Durham in the Redwood Sports Bar on the doorstep of the Shard. He's been speaking to some Lions fans. Harry, how's it going?
Hugh, that is a very, very good question. There's still a few smiles on the faces over here, despite the antics of what has happened before that half-time whistle. Tony, I mean, what have you made of that first half from what you've just seen in Dublin?
They've been together 2 weeks. This is a settled Argentinian side who are a very, very, very good side. They're not like Argentina in the past. Very good side. We've been together 2 weeks. We'll come back in the second half No problem.
No problem at all. Tyler, I'm going to ask you as well. How are you feeling seeing that, an Argentinian try, and you're heading to Australia in the coming days?
I am heading to Australia for the tour, so slightly worried, but I agree. This has been an Argentina side that's been together, playing together for years upon years.
Harry Durham there with some Lions fans, some going out to Australia, and they'll be hoping for that victory in the second half. Makes them feel a lot better about the trip they're making to the other side of the world. Chelsea over in America at the moment. Their fans that have travelled over there maybe not feeling great. The full-time whistle's gone in Philadelphia. Ian Abrahams.
Chelsea 1, Flamengo 3. Massive result then. Former Chelsea man Felipe Luis, who is the coach of Flamengo. Pedro Neto's goal had Chelsea ahead at half-time. 5 crazy second-half minutes. Bruno Henrique equalised. Then the former Manchester City defender Danilo put Flamengo in front. There was a red card almost immediately for Nicholas Jackson after he come on as substitute. And 5 minutes from the end, Wallace Yang completed the scoring. Massive defeat for Chelsea. But for the Brazilian sides, it's a good Club World Cup for them so far. It finished Chelsea 1, Flamengo 3.
We'll also have more live football for you tomorrow on Talksport as England's under-21s take on Spain in the European Championship quarter-final. We've just had some of the representatives from the My Name's Doddy charity. Of course, Doddy, we're former Lion Scotland great. The charity in his honour raising money funds for research into motor neurons disease. Our very own Ali McCoy was part of that charity ride, raising money very recently, and they ended here, of course, at the Aviva Stadium with the match ball in the stadium today. So we've just seen a few of the representatives from the charity here as the players come out for the second half live on Talksport. Benke, former Lion, alongside me. Mara Itoje is not looking too happy. The Argentinian players very, very focused indeed. In fact, we're about to kick off, so let me hand back to the commentary team. Former Lion Benke, who's alongside Talksport's Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much, Hugh. Yeah, they delivered the match ball. One of 2 charity partners, the My Name's Doddy Foundation, the Matt Hampson Foundation are the other one. And we are back underway with the Lions regathering their own kick as Argentina got in a bit of a tangle. And 8 over the halfway line. Luke Kawandicki tries to pull it back, but it actually goes to no one in particular. And Pedro Rubiolo, the Argentina, and Bristol, second row, is the man putting all sorts of pressure on the Lions. So they've been forced back 8 metres inside of their own half. And now Alex Mitchell will have to box kick off the back foot. Down the right-hand side it goes. Freeman is up. He doesn't get there. It's going to go off of Ignacio Mendy and into touch. Andrea Piardi, the assistant, the near side, isn't sure. Oh, and has now said Argentina line out.
I think it hits Freeman's shoulder actually.
We have red ball right now.
The referee thinks opposite.
James Dolman thinks it's a Lions ball, and so unless any of the other officials chime in and say, no, it's definitely an Argentina ball, it will stay Lions.
Don't mind that play from Kawandicki, although the pass wasn't found. What the Lions can't do now is think we've made a few mistakes in that first half. We'll go into our shells and not make any more mistakes. They have to challenge. They have to play. They just need to be more accurate with what they're doing, but they need to keep that attacking intent.
Well, they've thrown the line out over the top, and it's been gathered in cleanly, and the Lions are getting quick offload ball, but they've offloaded it to an Argentina player 8 metres out from their own line. They're going to go down the right-hand side. Juan Martin Gonzalez, the open side flanker, is the man who's taken it down the right side. He's going to be tackled 10 out from his own line. Argentina run a phase to the left to get 15 in from the right touchline to give Garcia, the scrum half, a better kicking angle. Up it goes. Rodrigo Isco is after it. He gets up highest and he gets an arm on it, and he's brilliantly pulled in by Gonzalez. He traps it between his hand and his thigh. Makes another 4 or 5 metres. Argentina within 8 metres of the halfway line as they launch this attacking move down the left-hand side. Out to Mendy. He tries to go inside, then out around Tommy Freeman. Argentina have the ball, 5 short of halfway. Joel Sclavi, the tight head prop, takes it into contact. Argentina now going left to right across the pitch. Meikar Vivas has dropped it. Turnover ball for the Lions. It's been flung backwards on the Lions side. Maro Itoje will gather it in. Finn Smith will put boots a ball, and it's going to bounce in goal. Now, the in-goal area here is pretty big, so it's not going to go all the way through and out the back, and therefore a scrum from where it was kicked. Argentina will dot it down for the goal line dropout. We've played 2.5 minutes of the second half. Here on Talksport, I'll Just give you the recap on the teams. Argentina are actually down a man at the moment. It's Mendy, the left winger, who's just getting some treatment. So it's Ellis Genge, Luke Cowan-Dickie and Finlay Bealham, the starting front row. Maro Itoje and Ty Burning behind. Tom Curry, Jack Morgan and Ben Earl making up the forwards. Alex Mitchell and Finn Smith, the halfbacks. Bundy Aki and Sione Tuipulotu, the centres. Duan van der Merwe and Tommy Freeman, the wingers. And Marcus Smith at fullback, and he's got the ball. He's from the long 20 goal line dropout. He gives it to Ben Earl, who's made metres over the halfway line. Now the Lions have got some flow. Oh, they went for the offload back inside when maybe outside was the option. Bundy Aki knocks it on. Argentina turn the ball over and drive it back in behind the Lions. Marcus Smith's going to have to back up to 15 out from his own try line. Tries a little dance move with Carreras. Now offloads to Freeman. Freeman's had a good showing this evening. He's made a good 5 or 6 metres there before he's tackled. Mitchell from 10 outside of his own 22. Now Marcus Smith, and it's going to go down the right-hand side. And here come the Lions through Tuipulotu. 12 over halfway, right-hand side. Finn Smith's going to take it infield. Nice offload from the Lions to Duan van der Merwe. Van der Merwe stays on his feet, gets the offload away out of the tackle to Bundy Aki. 5 outside the 22, 15 in from the right-hand touch. Jack Morgan with hands on the ball. Takes it to within a couple of metres of the Argentina 22. Freeman with an enormous pass way out to the left-hand side where Ben Earl, the number 8, is lurking. He comes back infield. Lions continue to rack up the phases. They've got penalty advantage. Free play for them. Tom Curry takes it into contact. Mitchell will whip it away quickly. Finn Smith goes kick pass out to the right-hand side. He's got a bit too much on that. And it will go into touch. On the bounce, we will go back for the penalty. 4.5 played of the second half. Lions 10, Argentina 21. As Argentina are going to make a change, it is going to be Santiago Cordero replacing Ignacio Mendy. Ben Kay, your thoughts on the early stages?
Some attacking intent there. What I will say is a lot of the Lions look fatigued, really fatigued, particularly some of those forwards. Maro Itoje himself now. They've had a couple of weeks without a game. They've also trained very hard. We've seen plenty on social media of them being put through their paces. And the speed of that first half, particularly the first 20 minutes, looks like it's caught up with them. They are struggling. They will get a second wind in this half, definitely, and they'll come back, but they need to fight through this period. They need to, 5 metres out from Argentina's line, rattle the scoreboard.
Well, they found Maro Itoje with the line-out throw, and they're dragging it forward. Lions are centimetres short of the line, really close on the left edge. They've got another penalty advantage. Sione Tuipulotu screaming for it. It's not coming out of there. James Dolman says penalty try. And if it's a penalty try, then he's going to be awarding a yellow card to Argentina. And it's the number 1, Mako Vivas.
I think he was helped by his assistant on the far side that gave him the number and confirmed that the ball probably, in all likelihood, would have gone over the line. The Lions looked like they were in a brilliant driving position. It was the centre pairing that came in to add the extra weight. And at that moment, it looked like the Lions were going over, and then suddenly it collapsed. And Mako Vivas is out of position. He comes in from the side and tackles Luke Cowan-Dickie as he's going over the line, prevents him from going over. The referee was blindsided, his assistant wasn't. He passes on the message through their radio link, and that's absolutely the right decision. And despite a little bit of mistakes early on from the Lions, as I said, they had to ride that period where they looked fatigued and they come away with points. Suddenly, they're looking in a much stronger position, 21-17 down.
So it's an automatic 7 points. You don't need to take the conversion anymore. So it's a 4-point deficit. If you're not that familiar with rugby union, you can't come in from the side of the pile of bodies. You have to come round what they call through the gate from the backmost foot. And that's what Mako Vivas didn't do. He went in at the side to tackle that particular maul as it was moving forwards, and that is why it is a penalty to the Lions, and they therefore will have the extra player for another 9 minutes, trailing by 4.
And that's where you need the captaincy of Maro Itoje, who has looked really tired himself, but he needs to be saying, power play time, we've got a man advantage, I don't care how tired you are, don't think, well, that's a let-off for us, we can coast through the next 10 minutes, we need to put the foot on the throat of the opposition and really exploit that one-man advantage in terms of fatiguing them. Even if the scoreboard doesn't change and you don't get the results on the scoreboard, you can affect the Argentinians by playing at a pace that they can't play with 14 men.
Joel Sclavi has left the field to be replaced by Francisco Corra-Marchetti at tight head prop, and they're now going to need to make a change because we've got a scrum. Julian Montoya's throw wasn't straight, which you can now get away with if the opposition don't challenge, and therefore they wouldn't win the ball anyway, but the Lions did go up. It wasn't straight, so therefore it's going to be a scrum.
The important thing about that, giving away that scrum, is now Argentina are forced into bringing on, because Vivas is a prop, they have to have another prop back on the field at the first scrum. So if they'd been able to play for another 6 minutes, they would have been able to keep their full quota of back rowers on the field. They can't do that now. They've had to replace the prop. So you lose one of your most mobile players for one of your most physical and imposing players.
To the wonderfully named Boris Wenger. 22 years of age. It would be his Test match debut if they're awarding Test caps for this one. He's a former under-20s player and plays in the Super Rugby Americas competitions for the Dogos 15. He's on a loose head prop, and what they've done is they've put Justo Picado, the centre, on the side of the scrum, so it is still 8 against 8.
Obviously worried about the Lions' power in the scrum first half. Lions have gone for them anyway and won the penalty.
They have indeed.
So that's why they put Picado there. If they'd been confident in their own scrum, a little bit of afters from Ellis Genge with the new man. But I think they were just slightly concerned, so they brought in the extra one, and that's a huge feather in the cap for the Lions. But hello, we're going to see a few new fresh legs coming on from the Lions.
Thomas Williams is stripped off down beneath us at scrum half. Ronan Kelleher is stripped off to come on at hooker, and Henry Pollock is stripped off to come on and do whatever the heck he wants to do, because it's what Henry Pollock does. Listen to that roar. He got the biggest roar in the O2 when they named the squad to start with. Henry Pollock, he's onto the pitch, as is Thomas Williams, and as is one of the local heroes, Ronan Kelleher. Called up to the Lions squad in 2021 as cover. He didn't get onto the pitch. He is now a Lion.
Pollock gets a huge roar here. He ran onto the field just like an excited Labrador, living his best life.
Thomas Williams will get his hands on the ball at the base of a ruck. He's been enveloped by 3 or 4 Argentina shirts, but the Lions will get it back. Finn Smith's going to have to play scrum half for the time being. The Lions trail by 4 as we approach 50 minutes here on Talksport. The British and Irish Lions tour exclusively live on Talksport and Talksport 2. And here comes Tommy Freeman, the right winger down the left-hand side. 15 in from the left touch. Lovely little reverse play. Thomas Williams to Ellis Genge. Genge takes it down the touchline, gets within 10 of the 22. Lions come back to the right-hand side. Now they're getting some flow into it. Marcus Smith steps back inside, sees a weak shoulder, gets through the first tackle, doesn't get through the second, but he's up to the edge of the 22. Now here come the Lions once again. Bundy Aki and Tui Pelotu combining. Thomas Williams gives inside to Byrne. Big tackle on Finn Smith. Ball comes loose. It's knocked on. Lions putting some good pressure on, but from 18 metres out, it was dislodged with a big tackle. Argentina will put into a scrum.
Well, you've got to keep challenging, and despite another error, that was good attacking play from the Lions. Lovely offload that we saw in that passage of play from Thomas Williams, one of his real specialties. Allowed Ellis Genge to win a collision, and that's what you need, that platform, so you can take the line speed away from the opposition. That allowed Marcus Smith to attack in the wider channels. But much, much better, and what an impact those 3 new players have come. The energy levels from the Lions have gone through the roof. Exactly what Andy Farrell would have wanted.
Guys, are we playing on?
It was Jack Morgan, by the way, who Henry Pollock has come on for. So it's Tom Curry, Henry Pollock and Ben Earl as a back row.
Water off.
At the moment. Well, the referee's just said water off, and 2 Argentinian water carriers have just run on.
I know, it's okay. All right, ball's there, let's go, bind up. I'll turn this side.
Match officials do not like games having dead time anymore. 10 minutes into the second half of this one. Andy Farrell, I'm sure with plenty to think about, as he would have, whether they were winning 50-0 or trailing by 4 as they are as it stands.
He'll be a lot more comfortable now, having had a good attack. Obviously, off the back of the try as well. He would have been worried that this game could get away from him at the beginning of the second half, and now they're right back in the hunt.
Argentina put into the scrum, but the British and Irish Lions have gone early through the mark. So
Only
it
a
is
free
a
kick.
free kick to Argentina, and the significant difference there is, of course, that if they kick it to touch, which they can do as they're inside the 22, they will not get the throw to the line out. It will be Santi Carreras who gets it away. It's a good kick. Despite the pressure from Ben Earl, it is safely into touch down beneath us. The Argentina left, 5 short of halfway. Lions will have a line out.
Hold there, guys. Hold.
Close game, this one. Sides met 20 years ago, and it finished a 25-all draw as Johnny Wilkinson kicked a late penalty for the British and Irish Lions to secure the tie. Are we in for similar late drama this evening? Well, it's good line-out ball for the Lions. Straight into the middle of the park it goes on the 10-metre line. Ellis Genge with a brilliant run. He's bust through 1, bust through 2, inside the 22. He's still not held. He's entitled to go.
Got to go left.
10 metres out. Numbers all out to the left-hand side. That's where he goes. Bundyaki to Ipolotu. Marcus Smith ignores Duan van der Merwe. Goes himself. Tackle 5 out from the line. Great ball from Thomas Williams to Ty Burn, though. And Ty Burn in that baby blue scrum cap, but a bright red shirt. And the British and Irish Lions lead once again. Lions 22, Argentina 21. Ty Burn with the try.
Well, they really started to click now, and it all comes from Ellis Genge's bust. Wasn't just a simple outpowering, he run a beautiful line back against the grain with all the defenders' eyes looking in at the breakdown, and Thomas Williams hit him beautifully. He bust through. They didn't make the best decisions, but it didn't matter because they didn't panic. Marcus Smith should have fed the bigger Duan van der Merwe to score on the touchline one-on-one, but he didn't. He didn't panic. They came back towards the post, made it an easier kick, and Ty Burn ran a similar line to Ellis Genge that started it all, with the Argentinians struggling to get it back into position, and slides in untouched under the post. The conversion is good.
Ty Burn just comes on that power line, but significantly he's running at the space between the two defenders. So many players you see actually run at an opposition player. As Rocky Clark, the England legend, she used a phrase once in commentary: why would you run at the trunk of a tree? Why not run to the side of a tree?
The key, what he's doing there, is he's looking for a player that's almost turned in towards the breakdown, watching, and then he's going to try and run at his back, so that as he turns, because the player outside him will be able to see and step in, but what he's hoping for is by the time he turns round, because he takes, oh hang on, there we go, as he takes the ball flat to the line, the player as he turns isn't going to be able to make any sort of tackle, and even if they do lay a hand on you, they're going to be rotating and they're not going to have any power behind their foot.
The reason Ben said, oh hang on, Thomas Williams, well, he wasn't in 2 minds, he was in about 3 minds. He went left, he went right, he went back, and then thought, I've got to clear this. And his kick was actually charged down, but it's been charged down into touch. So it's a British and Irish Lions throw. Ronan Kelleher will do the honours and finds Maro Itoje at full extension. That's a perfect line out. Lovely ball to Ben Earl. Lions have burst their way out of their own 22. Thomas Williams, right-footed, is going to put it into the Dublin sky. Freeman's underneath this with a great claim. Now he's lost control of it. Did it go forward? Yes, it did, unfortunately.
He's injured his hip as well, Tommy Freeman. Ball above his head. Looked like he'd taken it superbly well. He's had a brilliant game, Freeman. It's really sad to see him down injured, struggling. Doesn't look too serious. But Carreras just collided with his arms and toppled him in midair, and he ended up landing, rotating round, and oh, it's nasty. His left foot digs into the ground and all his weight's going down over the foot, and he almost snaps himself in two, doesn't he, as he lands? So you can see why he's in pain. If I was Andy Farrell, I'd be taking him straight off the field and not taking any chances with that one and hoping it's just a minor muscle injury.
Well, especially when you've got Elliot Daly and Mac Hansen on the bench, both of whom can do a job out wide. And Mac Hansen is the man who is taking the bib off, and that's why the cheers. It is the British and Irish Lions, live and exclusively on Talksport, with the coverage sponsored by Tenor Men. Find out more at tenormen.co.uk. First of 10 games exclusively live on the Talksport network.
Freeman's got up. He's still limping a bit, but he's happy that he can continue. And I know he'll want to, but if I'm the coach, he's clearly going to be one of your stars of this tour. He's been in brilliant form. He's been brilliant tonight. Just why take the risk on him? He's done all he needs to do in the first 55 minutes.
Well, also other players need game time. He's not played for a couple of weeks. Mac Hansen, his season with Connor ended fairly early. You would have thought that they would make those kind of changes. Of course, born in Canberra, Australia, Mac Hansen. I'm sure he's got that game against the Brumbies circled in his diary. Him and Finlay Bealham actually have connections with Canberra. Scrum to Argentina then, trailing by 3. 24-21 the Lions. They win that scrum, and it's been kicked past out to the right wing, and Thomas Albornoz has got that horribly wrong, and it sails out on the full. Lions will have a line out 10 inside of Argentina's
they were
half.
picking on Marcus Smith there. They've got Isgro on that far side, who I've already said one of the best in the world game in the air, but club colleague of Marcus Smith. So as the ball sailed over their heads, Marcus Smith just playfully jumped in front of Isgro. Said, I would have had it covered.
Sin-bin period is over, by the way, for Mako Vivas, so Boris Wenger leaves us for the time being. Ronan Kelleher will throw to the line-out. It's taken by Itoje. Significant how many times Maro Itoje has been the line-out target so far this evening for the Lions. They've worked it round to the right-hand side. It wasn't the greatest of balls for Duhan van der Merwe, and he was on the back foot quite literally, having to try and take that from behind him. He's forced backwards into his own half. Thomas Williams, lovely line for Freeman off of Thomas Williams. Over the 10. He's still going. He's a couple of metres short of the 22. Just right of centre. Nice hands from Pollock. Now it's Bundyaki. Was that forward? I mean, the referee has said it's okay. We'll carry on playing. Marcus Smith's going to dab a kick down the left side. It was Tom Curry out in the wide left position. He will chase after it. It's into touch on the far side for a line out.
Freeman didn't look like he was carrying an injury there when he burst through. Brilliant line again. Back against the grain, behind those players, looking in towards the breakdown. And he just didn't quite trust that Thomas Williams was there. That's been a little bit of a theme for the Lions, and that's all to do with not playing together. You hesitate when you want to throw the pass because it's not a natural line to players that you're used to playing with. But they could have scored there through Thomas Williams if Freeman trusts himself. But again, they didn't panic. They were played out the back. Lovely hands, as you said, from Pollock. Maybe not quite the right option for Marcus Smith to thread that through, but certainly the Lions look totally dominant at the moment. As I said earlier, you get purple patches in the game. The Lions just need to capitalise on the one they're having right now.
Well, Martin Gonzalez wins the line out for Argentina. 10 out from his own try line. They are able to place it back, and Gonzalo Garcia will kick right-footed, keeping it deliberately on the playing surface. Contestable. Duhan van der Merwe goes up, but he's beaten to it by Rodrigo Isgro. Argentina therefore have the ball back. Lovely little show and go from Albornoz. Gets the offload away, and Argentina are barrelling way down the middle of the pitch. Here's Picado, the centre. Kick aimed down the left-hand side. Got a foot race out there. Santi Cordero wins the race and scores in the left corner. The Connaught winger. He's had 2 years in Ireland. He's moving on at the end of this season. What a way to leave Irish shores. Argentina are back in front. 58 minutes on the watch. Santiago Cordero makes it British and Irish Lions 24, Argentina 26.
They are so good at capitalising on mistakes, this Pumas side. And unfortunately, it's another mistake from Duhan van der Merwe. He can't win the aerial battle. And when they get it back, everyone thinks that they're going to shape to kick through Albornoz, and he just tempts Tom Curry to fly through the line, and as he does so, steps back inside him, and they play down that touchline, put the kick in behind, and then the pace of Cordero wins the race to a struggling Marcus Smith, desperate to get across. And in a moment, the game changes again.
Albornoz with the conversion attempt, wide out on the left-hand side. Brilliant kick. Brilliant kick. Slots it straight down the middle. It is 2 more points for Argentina. They lead by 4. 24-28. The visitors, they've come into the Lions' house, and they are not being particularly nice house guests. Lions have made changes, by the way. P.S. Schoeman is on. Elliot Daly is on. Mac Hansen is coming on. And I'm looking because I'm thinking surely Tadhg Furlong must be on as well. Yes, he is. Tadhg Furlong, the man that they've been so concerned about for the last few weeks, having had very little game time of recently. His last game was the 17th of May. And I'll do the full list of the changes, but Duhan van der Merwe is the man who is making way for Mac Hansen to go out onto the left wing. Back underway. Tommy Freeman is still on, and he's up and getting hands on the restart. It's into the hands of Maro Itoje. The Lions, 15 metres out, 10 in from right touch. Tadhg Byrne gets hands on it. Lovely pass from Marcus Smith. Opportunity for Tuipulotu, bounces off one, and I tell you what, it looks like Matthias Moroni might be in trouble. Ball goes further left from the Lions. Tom Curry drops it. It's a knock on.
He'll be straight off the field, Moroni, clearly showing signs of concussion. He flew out of the line and tried to chop. I think it was Tuipulotu, but Tuipulotu saw him coming and stepped across his head. He got his head on the wrong side, got hit in the side of the head, and immediately as he tried to regather his feet, he stumbled. The medic straight onto the field. There won't be an HIA here because he's shown signs of concussion, so he'll be permanently removed from the field. And what a nightmare for Moroni. Big moment in his career to play against the Lions, and he's straight back off the field.
He's not really had a great time in this stadium. He was yellow carded here in the Autumn Nation Series against Ireland back in November. Matthias Moroni might be not particularly enjoying his trip here.
Good Lions play, good Lions attack. The only reason that they're in the position they are now of losing is they've made a couple of mistakes, and Argentina have just been so clinical at ripping them apart when they have done. So I think, regardless of the scoreline, Andy Farrell will be pretty happy.
Oh, enormous cheer because Brian O'Driscoll is shown on the big screen. Gavin Hastings gets a slightly smaller cheer, but
alongside
Jamie
Roberts, guilty of a buffalo there.
Right, looks like Moroni is now coming off. He's jogging off, by the way, for his HIA, which is at least a good sign.
I don't think he can have an HIA. He's clearly affected by that. It'll be wrong with everything that rugby's trying to do around player welfare if he does reappear.
Santiago Grondona is on in the second row for Argentina. Joaquin Moreau is on in the back row. And if you're a fan in the Gallagher Premiership, Joaquin Moreau is a name you're going to know very soon. He is signed for the Leicester Tigers. He's 24 years of age and had one Argentina appearance in a cap game before today. It was against Uruguay in July of last year. He scored 2 tries on his debut. So you're going to see a bit of not a massive man, metre 90 and 99 kgs, but they talk very highly of him.
Well, I flew in from France yesterday alongside an Argentinian Super Rugby fan, absolutely obsessed with the game, and he was the player that he was most excited about.
Argentina have it from the scrum and kick it down the pitch. Marcus Smith is at full back. Oh, it's not the greatest of passes to Tommy Freeman. It's bounced loose. I thought he got his hand on that and there would be a knock-on. The officials have disagreed for the time being. Elliot Daly, by the way, came on for Bundy Aki in the centre, and Mac Hansen, who we mentioned, on for Duhan van der Merwe on the left wing. He will be chasing as Finn Smith puts boot to ball down the left side in the 15-metre tram lines. Up it goes from Argentina from Carreras. Well, it's gone about 50 metres up and about 14 metres forward. Elliot Daly is the man underneath it. Gathers in well. Pierre Schoeman. Well, that'll sound nice to the Scottish prop. Henry Pollock with the bursting break over halfway, 8 metres inside of Argentina's half. Tuipulotu, hands on the ball. Lions getting some continuity. Lovely little tip on from Maro Itoje to Kelleher. Kelleher places it back for Thomas Williams. Now it's Byrne, Mac Hansen, Tuipulotu again. Now Pollock. These are all within 5-10 metres of the left touchline. Pollock with another carry. Lions are halfway inside of Argentina's half. They've seen something down the blind side. Lions are going there again at the moment. Mac Hansen gets fed the ball again. Argentina can make the tackle on this occasion. Pollock with the carry. It's almost like a game of sevens at the moment. It's the same names all the time. Here we go with the Lions. It's through the hands of Elliot Daly. Now Marcus out to the right-hand side to Tommy Freeman. Drops it onto the toe. 5 metres outside the 22. Well gathered in by Albonos, and he claims the mark for the fair catch inside the 22. Lions 24, Argentina 28. 62.5 minutes played. Ben Kay.
Well, the reason that we've just been saying Pollock so much is the Lions have stationed Curry on one wing and Ben Earl on the other wing, so that when they get into their rhythm of playing wide, and they haven't been doing that all game, we've seen a little bit of it, but I just think now they've had a change in game plan and strategy at this stage of the game, that they're going to try and play wide, and that's why they need the back rowers out there, A, to carry, but more importantly, when Tommy Freeman and Matt Hansen get the ball, to make sure they're not turned over in the wide channels. Pollock, as the new man with the fresh legs, is going to have to do more work in the middle of the field.
From the mark, Argentina put it down the left touchline. It was a pretty terrible angle to try and get any distance with the kick. So the Lions will throw 7 or 8 metres only outside of the Argentina 22, right-hand side of the field. Ronan Kelleher. Where's he looking? Well, Tyke Byrne's the only real option in the middle of the line now. Argentina get a hand in. The Lions get it back, though. Kelleher is tackled. Hooker on hooker. Montoya with the tackle. It's a great little pick and go by Tyke Furlong, but his offload is intercepted by Argentina, so they have it back 3 metres outside of their own 22.
They just telegraphed that offload. Was trying to get it to the Lions' new number 9, Tomas Williams. Garcia just read it perfectly. He stepped in between the two of them.
Argentina put the ball up. Tommy Freeman again claims the ball. And the Lions can come on the attack. Here's Tyke Furlong pulling it back to Finn Smith. Now Marcus Smith drops the right shoulder, goes through, combines with Tom Curry. To a Pilotu, steps round one, gets into the 22, gets the offload away, but finds a blue and white shirt. Hence the groans around Leaviva. It'll be kicked by Gonzalez into huge space into the Lions half. Marcus Smith, the only man back, and will gather it in.
He's isolated here, though. Not many red shirts around him. They've done just enough to get back in time.
Tommy Freeman is the man, assisted by Elliot Daly at the breakdown. And Argentina have come round offside. Julian Montoya does not like that decision from James Dolman.
Such a soft penalty to give away. Marcus Smith just trying to do so much. He knows he's got to force his way in, and he drove through there, stepped back inside again. Maybe the right decision would have been to play outside him to Mac Hansen, but he backed himself, did create a half opportunity, offloaded to Tui Piloto, but then Tui Piloto's offload, as you said, direct to an Argentinian player. Too many of those for the Lions at the moment, but they are testing. Argentina are under massive pressure here. It's just that final pass that's not sticking for the Lions.
Joaquin Morro has gone off the Argentina back row, and Lucio Cinti is going on. So he's a centre. I can only assume that Morro's mouth guard has been triggered, because he looks completely nonplussed by the whole thing. So there's technology now in the mouth guards which record impacts and shock, and there's an independent group who look at the readings from all the players' mouth guards. So I think actually it's Joaquin Oviedo who's gone off, not Morro. Either way, he looked completely nonplussed, so I have to assume it's the technology. Line-out's been won by Argentina. They've worked it to the middle of the pitch, halfway inside their own half. Lions have prevented the ball coming out by their not releasing the tackler before they go back in on the ball. Penalty Argentina.
Yeah, the Lions line-out hasn't worked particularly well. Maro Itoji's usually it's 3 times they've thrown to him and either overthrown it under pressure, or Itoji there picked off by the Argentinians' defence. And that's one of the hardest things to put together. Line-out is so much a flow thing, because everyone's timing has to be perfect, and you have to know the intricacies of different players' jumping styles to be able to catch them at the perfect point and lift them high into the air. So understandable, particularly when you start making substitutions as well. And maybe these players will have only thrown a few of each rep to each other.
Because that's the thing about line-outs. There's so much movement nowadays pre the throw. Everyone's got to be in the right place. Then you've got to time the lift, and then the hooker's got to get the throw right. Everyone sees a line-out not working. They go, oh, well, the hooker got it wrong. There's so many cogs and moving parts. It is never that simple. Argentina win their own line-outs. And Justo Picado is taking it forward.
Release.
Lions are told the tackle is complete. They must release. Halfway inside their own half. 15 in from the right-hand touchline. Strong carry from Argentina up the gut. It's been stripped. Pollock. It was a good tackle by Schumann. Pollock got in on the ball, turned over. Is this an attacking opportunity? Finn Smith, it closed up on him really quickly, but he offloads it to Elliot Daly well, and Daly gets outside the 22. He's still going, Elliot Daly. Finally, he's brought to ground by Pablo Matera. Schumann will pick up and go through the pile of bodies himself. The Lions are within 10 of halfway, centre of the pitch.
Hold here, Reid, hold here.
Back to Finn Smith it goes. He's going to drive it down the centre of the pitch because he saw Santi Carreras had gone a little bit left. Carreras comes across, gathers the ball in. He's fired the ball, a low kick. It's then pinballed around in the middle of the pitch and it's knocked on by Argentina, and Finn Smith has gone and gathered the loose ball. No significant advantage from the knock-on, so we will scrum down. 12 to play here on Talksport. Lions 24, Argentina 28. First game of the tour, Lions are trailing, but still 12 minutes to turn this one around, Benkei.
Well, great little break there from Elliot Daly to start that Lions move. But again, it's just all those things that aren't quite going right. I don't think there's ever been a player that I can remember that has timed their run of form to coincide with Lions tours better than Elliot Daly. You know, people were writing him off as an international player for maybe the last couple of years. And every time there's a Lions tour, he seems to peak at the perfect time. And he's come on, made a real difference for the Lions already.
The other thing is he fits so... He's a Swiss Army knife of a player.
Well, definitely
left
a
wing,
bench option.
Yeah, left wing, full-back, centre, and
an absolute cannon of a boot. If you're a couple of points down in the Test series and you've got a penalty kick inside your own half, he could easily step up.
Absolutely. By the way, the cheer then, the cameras have just picked out Sirian McGeechan in the stadium this evening. Of course, got some health issues that he's trying to battle, but he's still here. The Lions are attacking. They've come down the right-hand side. Mac Hansen it is with hands on the ball. 18 metres out. Ben Earl acts as the link as the Lions go back across the face of the post. The aforementioned Elliot Daly gets a really good offload away. Lions 12 metres out in front of the left-hand post. Thomas Williams to Schumann. Schumann beats the first defender. Doesn't get past the second. Great ball from Thomas Williams. That was quick. Mac Hansen had to get his hands up and almost stop a laser going between them. Lions will come back towards the right-hand side. Kelleher will take it from Mauro Itoje. Now as they come further across the face of the post, Ben Earl with the carry. Argentina are in and on that ball, but they would have won the turnover. However, it was already penalty advantage to the Lions. 10 minutes to play. Lions 24, Argentina 28 here on Talksport.
Yeah, Marcus Smith taken out at the beginning of that attack as they played down the right-hand touchline. Mac Hansen went to look outside him, and Marcus Smith was
not there because Santi Carreras had walloped him.
Exactly that. But again, really good Lions attacking intent. I think, bar the scoreline, and I keep mentioning it, bar the Argentinians' ability to turn some of the mistakes into attack and points, Andy Farrell will be delighted with the way the Lions have attacked. They're just a fraction off tearing this Pumas side apart, but that's what they've got to put together very quickly, and if they can do it in the last 10 minutes, come out with a victory, I think Andy Farrell will be very, very happy with this first performance.
Gonzalo Garcia is replaced by Simon Benitez Cruz in the Argentinian scrum half, but the line out has been gone over the top. Argentina have gathered it in. 9 minutes to play, and the new scrum half Benitez Cruz will kick it, and Tommy Freeman's not been able to take it cleanly. He's dropped it. It's a knock on to Argentina. 5 metres out from their own line. A moment ago, now they're putting into a scrum 12 short of halfway.
First mistake Tommy Freeman's made. He wasn't really under any pressure there, and he spilt the ball, but all came from a line out His eyes come up, Tommy Freeman, before he's caught the ball. He's trying to look for a route through the defensive line chasing. Just takes his eye off the ball. But the line-out's more of an issue because that was a prime attacking position on the Argentinian line. I think it was just a missed call. I think Kelleher threw nowhere near where the ball was meant to go, so I think he probably got the call wrong. Obviously, all new sets of calls to learn very quickly for all these players, particularly Kelleher, having been involved in the URC final with Leinster. He's one of the guys newest into the squad, will have had the least amount of time to prepare for this game.
Well, there was a community event this morning where the players who aren't involved tonight were doing some coaching of local players today, and we got to do some interviews. You'll hear them over the course of the next few days. But one of the things that we spoke to them about was the fact that they'd only arrived officially in camp on Monday. When did they get the playbook after they've been looking at it for the last few months? And it was revealed, no, we got them on Monday. So it's not even a case that they've been studying them for the last few weeks. No, they've had 3-4 days of the newer players to try and get up to speed. So the rest of the guys were learning them from Portugal last week. It is still relatively new. Argentina will put into the scrum. Looks pretty solid. And it's going to be Simon Benitez Cruz who tries to play it away. It's into midfield where Santi Carreras is almost completely poleaxe, manages to get round one tackle, not get around the second. And Argentina will box kick high into the Dublin sky. Coming forward is Freeman. He's not going to get near that one. Well, at least on the first attempt, but Argentina don't take it cleanly, and it will be knocked on. It is a scrum down, British and Irish Lions ball. It is the British and Irish Lions live on Talksport with the coverage sponsored by Tenor Men. Keep control. Don't forget, every game is exclusively live right here across the Talksport network. It might be a British and Irish Lions game, but it wouldn't be at the Aviva Stadium without the fields of Athenry. And a few of the English, Welsh and Scottish can actually legally join in on this one. Yeah, because they've always done it in the past, but now they can actually properly join in because, you know, it's a thing.
The players are encouraged to sing this on the coaches and join in with all the other teams' heritage, and it does make you bond and feel together. And certainly when they get out to Australia, when they start to hear some familiar songs from those travelling army of fans in red, it will make a dramatic difference. It's been a little bit quiet, it's been a little bit cagey in here tonight. Maybe that sort of expectation and then a few errors, it's just taken the atmosphere out a little bit. But certainly one of the Lions' biggest assets when you tour, as I said, that tough tour, bringing together a scratch side to go to the other side of the world in their own back garden. One of the things that absolutely elevates performances is the crowd that go with them.
Okay, let's go.
Scrum down to the Lions. Andy Farrell was just on the big screen. There was a huge cheer. Owen Farrell appears on the big screen. He's here doing some TV work, and he gets a cheer. Hasn't always been cheered here. I can remember a red card in the build-up to the 23 World Cup that, let's just say, they weren't cheering quite as loud that day.
Mainly cheered.
Yes.
Heard a couple of people that maybe forgot.
Yes. Scrum to the Lions. Solid platform. The front rows are starting to come up. James Dolman said, well, it's at the feet of the number 8, let's play. And then it crabs a bit further, so he said, right, we're going to reload the scrum.
Straight up, we haven't moved off the mark. Straight up.
James Dolman, our New Zealand referee, says it never really went anywhere, so let's go again. So the Lions have 5.5 minutes to find 4 points for a tie, 5 points for a win. Well, you can't find 4 points, so you can rule that one out. So it's either a 3-pointer and then something else, or just go for the strike play. It's a nice scrum this. 15 in from the right touchline, so there is work for Tommy Freeman on the blind side if they want to attack this side. Freeman is loitering behind the scrum, though. He's going to go for the wide open spaces. The back line's gone already, but the ball hasn't come out yet. Thomas Williams now gets the ball away. They've got advantage over the Lions, so they can put it into the back line. The ball to Finn Smith out the back hasn't been timed, and it hits the deck.
Someone kicks the ball out of the half-back's end.
And James Dolman says we're coming back for the penalty, and the penalty is for kicking the ball out of Thomas Williams' hands as he was preparing to pass the ball.
Yeah, it's
Julian Montoya,
whose head had come up, saw the opportunity and just raked the ball out of Thomas Williams' hands. Maybe could have come out a little bit earlier from Williams. Finn Smith wanted it earlier, but that penalty has given the Lions a platform, 7 metres out from the Argentinian line. This is worth having a little drive to see if you can get within striking range, even if you don't get over the line. Allow you to have that pick and go game, which then narrows up the Argentinian defence. And if you don't get over the line with your pick and go game, you might find space for Matt Hansen in the wide channel.
Throw for Kelleher to Curry at the front. The drive is coming in from the Lions. The crowd want to see it go over. The back line are all coming in as well. Tui Pelotu, Daly, now it's hit the deck. So that all the backs are going to have to get out of there sharpish and realign because there's nobody there. Matt Hansen's the only man on the left-hand side in about literally 40 metres of space. Everyone else is over on this right-hand side. They're going to have to stay there for at least one more phase. The Lions will carry through Tyg Furlong. Ben Earl's going to pick up and go round the edge. It did look like Juan Martin Gonzalez might have been offside there. Referee says play on. Lions are 7 metres out, 10 to the right of the posts, trailing by 4. Slow ball, forwards will pick and go. Penalty advantage. Lions will go from Tyg Byrne. Ball comes out of his hands, so we'll go for the penalty. 3 minutes 10.
Pierre Schoeman's trying to take a quick tap foot. And it's much more popular to have a quick tap, but when your scrum's been fairly dominant, Thomas Williams just looking at whether he can kick to the touchline, but under the post, your scrum's been dominant. Put pressure on the referee to make decisions.
I've just confirmed the TMO has said that come in and said that there's a clear neck roll by yourself before this.
Oh, well, it's out the equation anyway. It's a neck roll against Tyg Byrne. Eric Gozan has seen it and has just fed it in. So that attacking Lions position will disappear as Tyg Byrne has made an illegal tackle for going around the neck of the opposition player and then pulling them away using their weight against them. And we're now seeing a replay. He starts on the body and then his arm slips up and he just basically grabs Santiago Grondona around the collar, around the neck. And it's not one of the most vicious things you'll ever see, but it's a penalty and the Lions will have to back up.
Clear cut, and now Argentina just taking as much time as they can out of the clock as they walk to this line out.
Julian Montoya prepares to throw. 12 short of halfway. Montoya still on the pitch. He's had such an monumental season. 19 appearances for Leicester, as well as all the international appearances, but he's overthrown that one by quite a long way. Argentina are the first to react, though, and their midfield will pull the ball in. The clock is ticking. 2 minutes and 20. Here in Dublin, opening game of the Lions Tour 2025. Tyg Byrne could have been penalised. He went round the side too early. Ball goes up. It'll go up and Argentina will gather it in. It's been batted loose. Santi Carreras is going to have to gather it in. And Thomas Williams is on him quickly. Can the Lions win the turnover? Can they win a penalty? No. Argentina still have the ball. We're under 2 minutes to play. I said 20 years ago these sides met. There was late drama. Johnny Wilkinson kicking a penalty for a 25-all draw. Can't get a tie this evening. Can get late drama. A minute and 40. Argentina are just... Well, they're going through phases at the moment. It's very dangerous to try and play, kill the clock for 90 seconds. Very easy to give away a penalty.
Use the ball.
Simon Benitez Cruz is told by the referee to use it. Cummings tries to put pressure on. The kick goes up. Tommy Freeman will gather it. The Lions have the ball back. They are just inside Argentina's half. Right-hand side of the pitch. Schoeman. That was a lovely line from Ben Earl. It looked for all the world he was going to get the ball. Schoeman kept hold of it. Lions back up in their own half. Tui Pelotu, 10 in from the left touchline. Gets to the halfway line before he's tackled. Thomas Williams to Finn Smith. Opportunity for the Lions. They're centre of the pitch. Furlong is there. Still inside their own half. Probing. Now Elliot Daly comes forward. Finds Mac Hansen. Mac Hansen rides the tackle. Tommy Freeman actually drags him forward with him. Schumann gets the ball back for the Lions. They're going through a lot of phases here. Penalty advantage to the Lions. There was head contact, so they can come back and whack this one down the touchline if they need for a line out further down the pitch. Tui Pelotto's going to try and go himself. 5 inside of Argentina's half. 3 in from the left-hand touchline. Argentina are way offside. Knock on in the midfield anyway. Come back for the penalty. Elliot Daly took the last one for the touchline. It wouldn't surprise me if Daly's enormous cannon of a left foot makes contact with this one and they try and get themselves a line out 10 metres out. Oh, and Boris Wenger, we've just seen the replay, was very upright on Tadhg Furlong. That is the sort of thing that the TMO could easily have a look at, because he could much easier be lower than that.
Yeah, the only thing is Tadhg Furlong bounces him off, so completely wins the collision. So I think they'd be happy that the danger wasn't particularly high, though. I think Wenger actually took a while to recover from it. Such was the collision from Tadhg Furlong. But last shot for the Lions. Clock in the red now.
That's a really safe kick from Finn Smith. The forwards would be hoping for a line out 6-7 metres out. They've got to go from 21 metres. Well, Julian Montoya has left the field, so the final replacement of the evening, Bautista Bernasconi, comes on for Argentina at hooker. But this is about the Lions. The clock is red. We are past 80 minutes. The next time the ball goes dead, the game will be over. The game cannot finish on a defensive penalty, though. So if Argentina, if they're thinking of killing it by committing an offence, they can't do it. We're waiting for Montoya to stroll off. Tadhg Furlong is going to have to come off for an HIA. So Finlay Beelam's coming back on. That's from that bang of heads that we just described.
The Lions have shortened the line out to a 5-man. We've got Henry Pollock standing as the receiver. Just outside the line out. They've got Ben Earl in the back line.
Subs made. Good, Bracey.
They need a moment of brilliance, but equally they need accuracy here, and they need to hold on to the ball and force Argentina to defend them.
Tyburn wins the line out at the back. Good line out ball from the line out for the Lions. Argentina are told to get out of the pile of bodies, and it's Pierre Schumann driving it back in towards the post. The Lions are in front of the sticks, 22 metres out. Beelam with the carry. He's driven back by 2 blue and white shirts. Manages to present the ball back cleanly for the Lions. Lions are playing a man down. Tyburn is down at the moment, and the play is going back towards him. It's his right leg. I think it's only cramped, judging by the way that he's got up. He's trying to get back in the line to make it 15 for the Lions. They're going to go back to the left-hand side. Marcus Smith gives to Tom Curry. There's not much space there for Tom Curry. Comes back infield. Lions are still 10 outside the 22. Pierre Schumann with another carry. He's seen plenty of the ball so far. Lions back up to the 10-metre line of the Argentinian half. They come across the right-hand side. Marcus Smith hands on the ball. Argentina make that tackle. Finn Smith into midfield. Scott Cummins takes a great ball with his fingertips reaching out in front of him. Lions will go again. They're going right, left at the moment. They're trying to go all the way to the left-hand side. Bodies available that way, and that's where Thomas Williams goes again. Henry Pollock goes into contact. Turnovers made by Argentina. Rodrigo Iskro gathers the ball in and then whacks it into the stand on the far side. And Argentina win. They beat the British and Irish Lions. And don't let anyone tell you that this game meant nothing to Argentina. The celebrations are as if they've just won a test series themselves. They're bouncing up and down. The British and Irish Lions players are standing, partially stunned, hands on hips. Opening game of the tour is a defeat against very good opposition, let's not forget, but a defeat nonetheless. They turned around at half-time, trailing 21-10. It finishes British and Irish Lions 24, Argentina 28. Luke Cowan-Dickey's try in the first half, along with Bundy Aki. Tyburn crossed in the second half, but it wasn't enough. Even with the yellow card from Mako Vivas giving a penalty try. So the Lions scored 4 on the evening. No, 3 on the evening. Of course, Luke Cowendicky's try was ruled out. So 3 tries on the evening, but it's not enough for them. They go down on the opening game of the tour. British and Irish Lions lose. They will get onto the plane, heading for Perth tomorrow. They will do so on the back of the defeat. Thomas Albonos is named as the official player of the 1888 Cup. Hugh.
The class of 2025 become the first British and Irish Lions side to lose their opening tour match since 1971, and it's happened on home soil in the first ever Lions match to be held in Ireland. That is not the way that Andy Farrell wanted to start the campaign, but they asked for a stern test in Argentina, and that is exactly what they got tonight. I've got to say, I'm stunned by the reaction inside the Aviva Stadium. These guys have been together for 2 weeks. I know the tickets are expensive and people have travelled a long way, but this team has just got together. This is the earliest stage of 7 or 8 weeks together. We couldn't expect perfection tonight, and we have to respect just how good Argentina are, how good they've been over the past 2 years. If they wanted a walkover, they should have, I guess, brought in a local pub team, because ultimately this is what you ask for. You want to be tested. You want to sharpen yourselves up. The Lions would have done that tonight. There will be plenty of positives to take from the experience, including getting to know each other a little bit better, working on what works for certain players and what doesn't, building those relationships. The energy has been sucked out of the stadium. I'm actually shocked by it.
Yeah, look, everyone came here wanting to celebrate and wanting to see their team to be able to send their team off, with a big victory. But it hasn't quite happened. As you rightly pointed out, this is in effect a pre-season game. So I don't want to take anything away from Argentina. We can see from some of the reactions, you've got players in tears on the field, because this is so rare for the Lions to play against Argentina. It means an awful lot to them, but it is a pre-season game. In past, remember New Zealand, they played a Barbarians team. This isn't a Barbarians team. This is the number 5 ranked team in the world. It's like a pre-tournament warm-up. And if I was Andy Farrell, I'd have taken huge heart from the way they played. They gifted Argentina a couple of opportunities with mistakes, which they can work on. But there is so much that they've tested out there that if they had played a scratch side, a Barbarian side, they wouldn't have that confidence that actually will that work in the test arena. And they have that confidence now. So although it's disappointing and we've now got to wait a week for them to put the scoreline right, I think deep down they'll be really, really pleased with that performance, particularly the fact so often when we played Argentina in 2005, it was a pretty awful game. We never really got any attacking shape going. The Lions can go in today saying, actually, with plenty of moments of attack where we look good and plenty of try-scoring opportunities where there was just a hesitation at the crucial moment because we don't know each other that well. But to throw this group together in some cases, that as Andrew pointed out in commentary, for 3 days, put them in together and then them to go against the number 5 ranked team in the world with pretty much half your squad unavailable, I think Andy Farrell will be delighted.
It's going to be an interesting few days. The reaction to all of this is going to be really intriguing for all of us. The first thing to take from it is, do you think we saw tonight how Andy Farrell wants them to play? The general basis. We know it wasn't perfectly executed, but is that how he's going to want the Lions to play come the test matches?
Joe, what's really exciting for any neutrals out there, but also for what's ahead of us, is usually, depending on who you're playing, you think, well, what will the Lions' strategy be? And in times gone by, you'd go and try and or live with South Africa's muscle. Or what you'd say about Australia is you'd go and try and out-muscle them. They weren't renowned for having a physical side. That's not going to happen this time. We've seen the way they've set up their shape, they're going down there to play. And we know Australia, that's their game, so they're going to play. So we are in for an unbelievable attacking series, I think. But great to see it. And they were brave. They came out in the second half and they attacked when actually having made so many mistakes that gifted Argentina. Sometimes your psyche says, well, let's not throw that pass. Let's not try things. Let's not try to play wide. Let's play safe with the pick and go game. And I felt they did that. I don't want to sound like I'm glossing over mistakes, because obviously these are professional players. They're the best players that we have. They shouldn't be making some of the mistakes that they did. But I'm not doom and gloom. That could have been a lot worse for the Lions.
Two issues I think that arose during the game. The kicking game wasn't exactly where they wanted it to be. I wonder what you thought about the approach there. And obviously this is your area of expertise. The line out just wasn't where we needed it to be either.
No, and you think about the majority of tries in all rugby, but particularly international rugby, elite rugby, they start with a phase from a line out. It's the best time to attack from. And if you're not winning those key moments, those key line outs in attacking positions, you're taking away the best chance you've got of scoring tries. So equally, that's one of the easiest things to sort out. And it's all about repetitions on the training paddock and getting that continuity and timing together as a unit. They'll sort it out very quickly.
In terms of forging yourselves as teammates, these are the moments that are important, aren't there? Because it's wanting to run through a brick wall for one another comes from these moments where, when you're a bit down, the other players in the squad get round you, lift you up, pick you up, and suddenly that bond is built. In many ways, it's better for that team bonding that things don't go smoothly all the time.
Yeah, there's always also a little bit of backs against the wall stuff, isn't there? When there'll undoubtedly be some criticism in the media from some parties, and almost you can sort of have that siege mentality. It's us against the world, and they will use that. There'll be a couple of players that maybe need just an arm putting around them. I think Duhan van der Merwe in particular, he got Shepherd hooked, and he made a couple of errors which really cost the Lions. So you want him to be able to bounce back in his next chance, because actually probably his next chance is his only chance he's got remaining. If he has another shocker, he's probably out of contention. So players like that, they're the people that you can get the most out of. Boost them so they play well, and then suddenly the whole environment becomes more positive.
It's tough for him because he needs game time. He's got to earn that game time, and he didn't really do that tonight. Andrew, I do want to ask you about the reaction. Where does it come from? There are some very disappointed Lion fans in and around us. Maybe it was the expectation, the excitement. I was speaking before the game like a kid before Christmas. Maybe they've just opened their socket and got a lump of coal at the bottom of it. Is this the worst Christmas ever for those Lions fans?
I guess there is, but I think Ben said it a couple of times. Argentina are the 5th best side in the world. This is a scratch side. They've been together 10 days. They've pushed the 5th best side in the world to within a score, basically. That's what we're talking about here. So yes, they've not won the game, and there were some issues, but actually, if you go back and analyse it, go back and look at the game again, actually, it wasn't a million miles off. So of course there's disappointment. They've come here, they've expected the party, they're expecting the win, but you know what, actually, if you look at it deep down, it's not as bad as it.
How important is an immediate response? You go to Australia, it's going to be a week of jet lag. Anyone that's done it, my word, it hits you hard. And then you've got to pick yourself up to take on Western Force next Saturday, and all the fans expecting you bounce back with a win.
Do you know the other thing? Sorry, I'm going to answer your question.
Yeah.
The other thing about tonight's performance that we looked at each other a couple of times. I pointed at Maro Itoje a couple of times on replays, and he was proper flagging. He was nearly walking, chasing back for a kick. He had nothing in the tank. I think they've deliberately beasted those players last week because they know that the biggest threat when they go out there is the players aren't fresh off the back of that travel. So I think they're going to have a really easy week after landing. They've done the hard work. They've done as much as they can because they know that when you get on Australian turf, that's when the tour starts in earnest for the players. I mentioned at the beginning, you're a bit worried about getting injured in this game because you're not really you're never part of the tour if you don't get on that plane. So yes, it's important they have that response, but I think we'll also see, despite the jet lag and everything else, we'll see a fresher Lions team that haven't had so many miles on the clock when they turn up on Saturday.
Need to win it.
Yeah, they do need to. Well, it's not. Do you know what? It's not the end of the world.
You want that confidence and momentum, though, don't you?
You do, but all you need to if you lose your first 3-4 games, as I said earlier, but you win 3-0 in the Test series, no one will ever look in the history books and say, "Oh, that was a poor Lions team."
Okay, right, now time for us to pick our leader of the pack from today's game with Tenor Men.
Leader of the pack on Talksport with coverage sponsored by Tenor Men. With Tenor Men's unbeatable product lineup, you get the protection you need for the lifestyle you lead. Find out more at tenormen.co.uk.
So, Ben, who've you gone for?
Well, I would have agreed with the actual man of the match. I thought Thomas Albornoz was brilliant, but I think one of the reasons the Lions were so much in contention, that the standout player for the Lions was Tommy Freeman. So although he was on the losing side, I'm going to give it to Tommy Freeman.
Limping a little bit as well, so hopefully he'll be 100% and on that plane tomorrow. Tommy Freeman of Northampton and England, and of course now a British and Irish Lion, is our leader of the pack with Tenor Men.